904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. This is the Sports Den with Denny Thompson and James Coleman on 1010XL.
Nah, man, you're not going crazy. Nah, you're hearing it right. We're just on this daylight savings time. Don't you know that this is how it works? All the shows get pushed back an hour, at least the nighttime ones, and we got pushed back 2 hours. So you're getting a chance to hear 4 hours of unfiltered radio by me and a one at Denny_Thompson who just showed up. A little bit thrown off everybody by the schedule, but this is the Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Make sure you go to thehumidor.com, type in Sports Den at checkout for 20% off. Also, The Humidor is owned by our favorite liquor company, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and for the holidays. Like right now, as you're listening to this show, you're realizing, man, it sounds a lot better when I'm a little bit tipsy and I got to rush home because I was expecting them to be on at 8. That's okay. Go to ABCFWS, basically ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Buy whatever alcohol you want, and if you spend over $50 and you type in sportsden 2020, you'll get $5 off of the shipping, which is roughly about $10.99, but that brings it down to $6.99. We're all about helping you save a little bit of money and convenience. Also, we're in the quick draw rapid testing studios now. That finally got Denny back here, so
yeah,
you're
sorry
set
about
up,
that, man.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, I have coming in from a memorial service for a guy that I went to high school with, Jeremy Thomas, who recently passed away. So
sorry to hear about
that.
that.
Yeah. Too bad, man. It's sad, but good to see a lot of people I haven't seen since high school. We got a lot to talk about. I'm kind of glad. I'll be honest.
I didn't want to bury the lead, and originally I was going to start talking about what I was interested in.
Well, we're probably the same thing, so go ahead.
The fight?
Which one?
Well, I want to start with the one that's more relative to us, but I've got a hashtag going around. Hashtag stand with Juice.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm with Juice, dude. Like he earned that. He had
Devon
that coming.
Williams.
He had that coming. And Juice is a friend of the show, and I don't know Chauncey, but I do know if your own teammate wants to beat you up, that's it. But I know we want to talk about that. But the people who are driving, they want to hear about gluten and it's how it affects your allergies and how it affects your football team. And who better to talk about?
Man, we really got to talk about this.
He's the person who might be taking over the franchise. He's the next best thing.
Jake Luton going to name the starter for the Jags this week, and I have seen Jake. And
well, no, because we've all seen Jake. A lot of us have seen Jake in practice. Like you've seen a little bit more than just seen more.
But I want to give an asterisk. Can I?
Okay.
An asterisk at 6:00. You're going to know what I'm saying when I say this. So I don't. Here's the thing: is I don't know what Jake Luton is going to do on Sunday because of this. There are guys that we've seen and we have trained who look amazing in practice and can't play when the lights come on. Well, there are guys that we have seen and we have trained that don't look very good in practice that are gamers, right? And so now a guy that I really know very little about as far as when the lights come on because I don't watch Oregon State football like that. Isn't that where he's from?
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to sit on here and say that the guy's not it, but I will say this. In the time that I was able to see him, there was a sizable difference in skill set, if you will, between Gardner Minshew and him.
When you say sizable, like you mean like in a good way or like he's not Gardner? Or there's a reason why Gardner was the starter?
There's a reason why Gardner was the starter.
Okay.
Right? It's like if you were to go out, you say this all the time, James, about if you went out and you saw a guy who ran a 4.840 and you didn't have the guy who ran a 4.4, you would think that guy's pretty fast.
Right.
All right. So if you went out and you played catch with Jake Luton and you didn't have another NFL quarterback next to him, you would think this guy's really stinking good. But to compare apples to apples, when I've seen, these guys together, it's not. Y'all can stop with it's an upgrade from Gardner Minshew is what I'm getting to.
Wait a minute. People really, they don't think that this is a part of the grand scheme, the plan, the master plan?
We've had people hitting us up on the text line, Lifetime Closers text line for the last month talking about bench Gardner and put Jake Luton in.
I don't question anybody's football IQ. I don't subscribe to the mindset that you had to have played to be able to comment on the game. I think it does help It gives you some understanding. But there's a lot of people who've seen more football than I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
Like I would give like Frank Frangie has watched more football, called more games than probably I've ever seen.
Mhm.
But I do believe I do question not Frank per se, but like other people in the media, like what did they see in these practices or that scrimmage that we all were at? You know how they say two people can see the same image and come away with different things?
Right.
Like typically it's not a complete 180. Like this is to make people understand the sports den version of events. This is the meme that goes around when you look at the picture, whatever's on your mind, that's what you see.
Mhm.
Like when you if you have a nasty mind, you see this,
Mhm.
but if you have a clean mind, you see a butterfly.
Right.
I must have a nasty mind because I don't see a damn butterfly.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I saw a duck.
Based on what
I
we
know that shit
saw.
got me.
No,
That's
no,
me.
no, no,
That's
no.
me.
Listen, based on what we saw at the scrimmage, we saw a guy who's never taken an NFL snap, and that's what we saw. We both came away from there saying what? The best quarterback was who?
Dobbs.
Dobbs. They cut him.
Right.
I mean, 2 days later, he was gone.
Which cemented my thought process, which it seems we are competing with the New York Jets. Like right now, we're going full steam ahead.
Mm.
We got to get out there. You got to get in the game.
Mm.
And what better way? I think they could hide it when Gardner was out there. And part of me wants to say, because I've told stories about playing hurt, I'm also not a quarterback.
Mhm.
I also hit people. If I could not hit people effectively, I probably would have pulled myself out when I was playing. But it was a dumb, it was a dumb and kind of selfish move because he could be if you were trying to win,
Right.
not just win your job, but if you were trying to win games as a team, you
Right.
got to pull yourself out. But now, you've got a
Well,
guy.
we all know what this is, though, James. We all know what this is. We all know at the end of the day, Doug Marrone is making this decision. He's not making the decision. Let me back that up. Dave Caldwell's making this decision. Dave Caldwell is telling Doug Marrone, hey, you're going to play this guy because nobody's trying to see Mike Glennon, and we need to see, do we have a backup here for when we draft Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? What are we doing with Gardner? Like, I mean, that's where this decision has nothing at all to do with who gives them the better chance to win. Nothing. Because I don't think you could even argue that Mike Glennon gives them a million times better chance to win than Jake Luton, not based on skill, but by the fact that he's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
This is 100%. This is a new guy. Let's see what we've got. Roll him out there, put him with the starters this week during practice, and let's see him against the Texans, who have also won one game, and we're picked to lose by 6.5. That tells you where this franchise is. I mean, it really is that simple. Ain't nobody trying to win games here. It's almost impossible to win games here right now. So I'll be watching this game because we have to come in here and talk about it afterwards. But I got to tell you, yesterday was fantastic.
Not just yesterday. Well, you had to because you had Kentucky. You've got you still got a lot of guys.
Saturday was stressful
in this. Well, I mean, you had to watch games, is what I mean. For the first time in a while, I didn't really like as live football. I didn't watch a down of football. I saw clips.
I got some good football, bro.
I know some things. I know some stuff that happened, but like I was able to enjoy my weekend. My unfortunately, like you got an opportunity to go to a memorial service. I had a teammate pass that I really wanted to be in Fort Myers, and shout out to Seminole Nation. I was about to call him Big Cuz. Mario Henderson, I got to remember his name. Mario Henderson and his family, his unfortunate passing. But my 2-year-old, he had his birthday party.
Happy birthday.
We got a chance to do that. And I didn't watch any bad football. And my eyes were refreshed. I wasn't angry.
You weren't mad at the game.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at the football gods. Like, why? What did I do to you to deserve to have to cover these people that don't look like they want to play football? So those are some things that I was grateful for. I was grateful for, but I saw the clips and I saw enough of it to know that my fantasy football team both were destroyed.
Oh dear.
I went up against Dalvin Cook in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So I know about what Dalvin did. And
some great NFL games.
And I had the defense going up against the Dolphins, and it wasn't even the Dolphins' offense. It was the Dolphins' defense that apparently put them in scoring position or scored all the points. So,
yeah, I don't know. The Jake Luton thing is going to get overplayed this week. I guess is all I'm saying. Jake Luton is Jacksonville. What you're not going to get is you're not going to get Jake Luton taking over the starting job, and he's not going to rattle off 3 wins in a row. Okay, it's just not. That's not what you're going to get. And enjoy football during this time when we weren't sure we were going to have football, and look at it that way.
It's the best way to look at it.
And then we'll continue to look at mock drafts and see where things land. We're going to be looking at mock drafts soon. But come April, we'll know who the newest quarterback is here. That's the way it looks right now, and this isn't going to change that. And if it does change that, it's not changing it for the better. If somehow they figure out a way to string together 2 wins and we're picking 7th, that's not a good thing, Jacksonville.
Yeah. Right now we're at 3, and 3's not bad. 3's not 1.
I feel pretty comfortable saying we'll be at 2 at the worst.
Okay, well, 2 or 3, because
right.
Who would be in front of us doesn't need a quarterback. The only thing that would threaten us is if somebody tries to trade up to that spot.
The Giants?
Yeah. They're not going to get rid of Jones this quick, right?
Man, we saw it with Arizona. Now that guy ended up being terrible, Rosen.
Right. Well, do we even know if he's terrible? He hasn't played. But
Rosen,
like that 1 year.
Anytime you were the number 1 overall pick and you can't catch on with the team.
Well, I mean, yeah,
3
fair,
years.
Fair.
I mean, somebody would.
Now, right now, the situation he's in, I would love to be in that situation. You're paid anyway, and you're behind the goal.
Have you seen Justin Fields yet this year?
I saw he was falling down, and he threw the ball, made a completion. I know if Pat Mahomes did that, the internet would be going nuts.
Bro, listen, if whoever you are at number 2, if you're the Giants and you trade Daniel Jones, I mean, he is those 2 guys. If you're picking number 1 or 2, you better pick one of those 2. A week or 2 ago, I would have said, I can understand somebody getting the Penei Sewell kid out of Oregon.
That's who Yahoo Sports has going at number 2 right now in their mock draft.
Yeah, but Yahoo Sports is dumb. They're not watching these games thinking about long-term franchise implications of Justin Fields the way that the Giants should be if they're picking number 2.
Well, they're saying
I don't have a problem about Daniel Jones, but I'm just telling you, he's not Justin Fields.
Yeah, from their perspective, they're saying Dave Gettleman, if he's making this pick, he may persuade and talk himself into giving Daniel Jones one more chance in 2021.
That's the dumbest thing ever, because guess who's not going to be there in the 2022 draft?
Fields
or Lawrence. I'm telling you, those 2 are going 1 and 2. Can we get to the more fun topics?
You want to do that now?
Well, I was going to say, let's tease it.
Makes sense.
You want to talk about the brawl at Ben Hill first, or do you want to talk about our boy Javon?
Because I don't know if that's going to get. We could get a full segment out of that, but I'm going to do what I've always wanted to be.
Okay.
Or I'm going to be what I've always wanted to be. I just don't like school. I'm going to use my sister's Florida Coastal education.
Okay.
And I'm going to defend Juice.
Okay. So we'll talk Juice and Mullen. Fights. We're going to talk fights. Next segment right here on the Sports Den.
Jacksonville has a strong history of great defense.
It looks like he fumbled the football. That's a safety.
Superior Fence and Rail highlights the defensive player of the game.
There is the pass rusher. He's extraordinary.
Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Dano's Diner on Mayport Square, formerly known as the Home Plate Diner, has Jacksonville's best breakfast and lunch, still created by the original Colonel Mustard. Breakfast sandwiches, pancakes, the legendary home run omelet has everything in it but the kitchen sink. The bullpen with 2 pancakes, 2 eggs, bacon, your choice of links or packs. Located at 1487 Mayport Road, open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mention 1010 to get 10% off. Dano's Diner doesn't get any better than this unless it's a doubleheader.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAABank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using #selfiesforchange so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us today at TIAABank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pickin' here, Zero Res offering an early bird special. Book today. They'll clean your carpets for only $43 per room. Plus, they'll give you 25% off your tile and grout cleaning. Call Zero Res, 287-5727, 287-5727, or book at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Some people say bigger is better. When it comes to buying a home, a TV, or an ice cream sundae, wouldn't you rather go big? Insurance companies think that because they're bigger, they can pay injured people less than what they really deserve. But guess what? We're big too. As America's largest personal injury firm, we know that our size matters. If you're going up against a big insurance company, you need a big firm fighting for you. If we win big, you win big. Offices, Jacksonville.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, home of the Monster Turkey Wedge. So good it's scary.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I'm Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers with pay ranging from $16 to $25 an hour and more with commercial experience. Superior Fence and Rail will train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at MyMen'sClinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED. Even if you have other medical conditions, they're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow. We at MyMen'sClinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Book online at MyMen'sClinic.com or call 904-615-8885. Again, 904-615-8885. Guys, let's fix it for her. It's not hard.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
It is the Monday night edition of the Sports Den. 4 hours with you right here. Denny Thompson, James Coleman, RJ with the first 2 hours, JJ with the last 2 hours. What, nobody can handle us for 4, RJ?
I mean, didn't we do that one time and you guys were bashing and they said we need JJ back and they gave you guys what you want?
Are you feeling down on yourself today?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not.
Doesn't he sound sad?
Yeah, he's like, man, like Rick will be here. You got tomorrow.
Y'all can hug. Did you have a bad weekend, RJ?
No, not at all.
You know what it is? It's because I'm still thrown off. Like the daylight savings time thing is a little annoying right now.
Well, RJ's still at that trick-or-treating age, too. Did you not get what you wanted in your pumpkin?
Wait, trick-or-treating age? No, my brother's birthday was on Halloween. So we celebrated my brother's birthday. But other than that, I mean, that's a normal weekend.
Oh, okay.
I walked the
sounds
neighborhood.
sad, bro.
I walked the neighborhood for the first time. Like
Did you?
during Halloween. Like we got some people that like go a little go a little crazy for it.
Mm.
Like, they really do it up. Like,
I didn't even go outside.
Nah, we had to let the little one run around.
Gator game was on,
Mm.
which will take us straight there. Florida Georgia week this week, the best week of the year here in Jacksonville. And I think this year is going to be. There's so many storylines in this game that will start to break down as the week goes on, or actually tonight at some point. Because the one question I'm going to ask you later, and I'm going to ask the text line, is going into this game, who has more question marks?
Mm.
And so I want to get into that a little bit.
And I want to ask you a question because it was stupid. I bothered you about it, but
what's up?
It's obviously the people. Well, we got to talk about the important stuff first. But this one right here, just it's got a Jacksonville flavor. But RJ, remind me, I got to ask Denny this question live so that the people can know the
Okay,
answer.
so that's coming up soon. RJ's got to remind me. He's got to ask me a question live.
So I don't want to forget it.
Okay. Obviously, the big story coming out of the Gainesville Saturday night was defense showed up in a big way.
Yes, they did.
But the bigger thing was the fight at halftime and Dan Mullen's role in the fight. And it was so much fun to see all the different opinions on social media based on who you pull for, knowing that a lot of you are complete and total hypocrites, Georgia fans. So it's let's start there. It was a late hit. There, like, y'all stop with the slow motion stuff. It was a late hit. It was a bad hit.
It was a bad hit. There have been worse.
Well,
it
sure,
wasn't a
there've been
devastating hit. It was within 2 steps. Should he have pulled up? Yes. Most Florida fans just, I get where you're at. Put yourself in the same situation. Your guy's probably taking it and just, did they not throw the flag at all?
No.
Okay, well, then that's more so on the ref than the player. But if you're
Well, here's what happened, though, because you didn't watch the game. So what happened was Florida got like 2 free plays because Missouri kept committing penalties.
Right.
At the end of the half. They would have gotten another one with that one.
Oh, okay.
So that would have been like the never-ending
And you scored, what I do know is this. You scored 14 points in a matter of like, what, 2 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, the game wasn't in question.
Yeah,
at that time.
so.
Well, I guess
technically it was, yeah. But if you score there, but you're not taking. I'm not the person to judge. I'm not saying that this was sports, like you're a bad sportsman. I'm just giving you the other side. You could have just taken a knee, taken your ball, and gone home. You were taking shots at the end zone, and they should have called the flag. That should have been it was a flag. Was it a fightable offense in football? I'm not there. I wasn't on the field. What I'm saying is would we have probably gone and maybe shoved one person if I was a lineman? Yes, but like to get both sides clearing the sidelines, we've in the rivalries or in other games with Florida, like you've seen worse hits.
You are not wrong at all. So I don't want you to take this as me saying you're wrong, because you're not that you're not wrong. You're right. It should not have blown up to what it blew up to. But you know what? I stinking love it.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I am here for it. I love that we saw that. I love that we didn't get football for 3 weeks as Florida fans, and then the very first time back, the defense is balling, and then just to put a little cherry on top, it's not like a stick your chest out and act like you're gonna brawl. It's bench clearing, getting after it, brawl that you see out of your team, and you see your coach, who I'm sure regrets it now, but you see your coach kind of acting a fool. And I dig that out of Dan Mullen.
I think the weird part what throws me off, and I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to jump back, is like you can't be going affiliated, repping your set, and then throwing on Star Wars hat, Darth Vader hats, man. That's
that was already playing.
You're freaking me out, man. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are, but I'm not mad at him. What I am glad, this is what Florida fans have to stop. Not just Florida fans. Most people in general, like we do this with our favorite politicians. We do this with our favorite players, and some are. But we know who is and who isn't. Stop trying to make these guys goons. Dan Mullen wasn't running in there to fight a soul, just like what was it against Vanderbilt when they had the little skirmish.
That was different.
If he would have ran up on my man would have gave him two pieces with a 2-piece spicy,
right,
with a dry ass.
Dan's got Eli at Missouri.
Facts.
Those square up.
But
I got my money on Dan.
Where if you go and you look at my social media, where I had the best time where I got the most chuckles and the smile in my heart was watching, unfortunately, and I hope he's okay. But one coach did go in there. And what you don't do, yes, I'll give coach to coach, even if it was the Vanderbilt. Coach to coach, you got a shot. I'm going to give you that. You got a puncher's chance. Coach to 18 to 23-year-old athlete that's working out, don't care. In pads, don't care where you from. You're not winning that battle, as the Florida coach found out when he got the Holy Spirit taken out of him. My man got hit and went backwards. I was just like, why are you even in that fray? You have no protection. The only way I'm going in there is if I'm taking a walk-on's helmet. And I'm going in there to defend, to break people up. Now, what I feel bad for, I don't feel bad, but I do, because this is just another L to compound. I thought it was Jacob Copeland at first, and it made me feel better, because isn't he 17?
15.
Oh, he's 15. Okay, whatever. Whoever 17 is, if this ever happens again, this isn't what you do, son. Like school, I tell you who he is. It's Zachary Carter.
Oh, Zach Carter's legit, bro.
No, football, probably legit. Fighting isn't his thing.
Okay.
Because
I didn't see this.
He went after 3 people, and all 3 times got knocked back. I love the energy, champ. Love the energy. That's not you. Now, I didn't see 51, and 51 is Antoine Powell. But I did see 52.
Okay.
And 52 caught 3 and went back. Like, it was just like.
Now, do you give him a break? Because both people you mentioned are freshmen.
Fair.
You give him a break on that?
Yeah, it's just it happens. There's not any person who's been in a street fight and tells you that they have an undefeated record is a liar, or they've never fought anybody.
Try it again as a junior.
Yeah, get in the weight room, practice, find a punching bag. I know if Florida does, and I want to believe that school. I know Florida State doesn't, apparently, because our guys are very sensitive. But Florida strikes me as a program that's going to watch this film. And they're going to talk about like the game film
and the fight film.
But they're going to talk about the fight film.
Right. They're going to break it down.
They're going to break it down. They're going to be like, hey, son, this is where you can't go in there with your chin up.
Right.
You got to keep the chin to the chest, and you got to extend and bring it back. You got to extend and bring it back. Don't leave that punch out there, because that lets you get caught.
Right.
So they're going to work on these, and that coach is just going to probably just try.
Well, let me tell you where I'm disappointed as a Florida fan. And Florida fans aren't going to like this. But if I have a strength coach and his last name is Savage, we better be throwing bodies around if it's Missouri.
That's facts.
If we're going to brawl, it better be like
Savage.
Yes, it better be movie theater, movie quality good, to where our guys are left standing and literally every single one of them's on the ground.
One of the things that you want to be able to say after these things, as a guy who may or may not have participated in one of these before in football history, I will neither confirm nor deny my involvement. You want to be able to say not only did you get the W on the field, because that's the most important W, but you want to be able to say that these guys just weren't happy enough with the one ass whooping they were taking on the field. They just needed to get another one. And I know people are driving home with your children, and I want to make sure I drive this point home. You win both battles.
Right.
If you're going to get 15 yards for parents, make sure you turn this off. I want your kids to understand this. If you're going to get a 15-yard penalty, you're going to get suspended. Make sure it's worth. Make sure you earn every penny. The worst thing in the world to do is to get in trouble and you didn't earn it. Like, any trouble I've ever gotten, I can tell you, like, you know what? They were right. They were right. I earned that one. It doesn't make it any better, but at least you get some satisfaction, because the worst thing you can do is accidentally get into something like this or take these L's and get suspended for half a game.
I'm going to take it more from a brand recognition standpoint, James.
Because this isn't what Florida was known for. This is good, though. I like this.
I like where we're headed, yes. But if this was Florida, just the brand, Miami, Florida State, a draw, we can have some banter about.
Oh, yeah.
Florida, Missouri, a draw is an L.
That's not, you're right. You wanted this to be like Florida, Georgia.
Right.
Cool.
Right. And Georgia fans, stop with our coach is a bad person. You had a coach that literally let your whole team run out after a touchdown that you thought was amazing. You have a coach who blows blood vessels in his neck from a week-to-week basis. Y'all just stop.
Listen,
but my point is, when you go to midfield,
Kirby gonna tell you the exact same thing. Like, if we're gonna fight, you better win.
When you go to midfield against Missouri, that's a wrap. Like, Missouri shouldn't even feel like they are capable to meet you at midfield. You think when Miami back in the heyday was playing Boston College or Wake Forest is the better example. You think Wake Forest would have snuck up on them? Mm-hmm. Man, Miami would have gone to midfield and Wake Forest would have gone in the dressing room.
This is why I tell people, and I've been telling FSU fans who've been complaining about this since 2017 was Jimbo's last year, when Bradley Chubb went and he spit on the logo and did things like that. That's such bad sportsmanship. You can't do that. Well, they allowed him to do it. Like, Dreams, what would have happened? We would have whooped his ass. It would have been a fight pregame.
He wouldn't have done it.
Actually, let me tell you, he would have been intimidated because he would have known. Travis Johnson, I was talking to my teammate Travis Johnson. We were talking. When Colorado played us in 2003, their coaches said, like, he talked to one of their coaches who was in the NFL years later. He said, we knew we had no chance to win. We went in there and told the guys, though, hyped them up, said, hey, man, y'all got to come in there. They're not as good as they think. Yeah, they're the past. They're blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're going to go in there. And then they went and they were on the logo. And the coaches was like, he said, it got out of hand. He's like, they went out there before we even had a chance. And the first thing all of us coaches huddled up and said, why did they do this? And he said, I looked at my D-line. It was a D-line coach. He said, I said, hey, man, I can't save you from this ass whooping. And ass whooping is what we did. Like it was something that you wouldn't do. Even Miami wouldn't do that. Even Florida wouldn't do that. Even, again, the brawl that I may or may not have taken place in happened after a victory when we jumped up on the 50 and they decided that, and I'm with it. You got to protect your turf, win, lose, or draw. But it can't be when it's like it's got to be to the point where you're back, right? When Missouri doesn't even attempt.
Exactly.
Like, you're back when nobody's trying you anymore. Like, right now, you're getting close. And I'll tell you this. James, my son's age. So basically, James Coleman's at 7, watching football in New Jersey or wherever he's at with family members who don't really know football except for it's on. I'm watching the University of Miami. I'm watching Florida State, braggadocious, hop, bully ball, all of this stuff. I'm watching the University of Florida a little bit more buttoned up. It's not a problem. It's just a different brand of football then. Or from what my perception. I don't like that. Boring. Does not fit me. Ooh, Florida State, Miami fits me. James Coleman growing up, the like me now, the rough, rugged, like then, like I'm like, yo, that's who I want to play for. That's the Florida energy that people know about. That is, I am a badass. And that's what you have to like. You got to get more of those guys. And then eventually you'll see you won't have to talk about the standard. You won't have to talk about these things. It will just show.
Here's the thing that I appreciate about Dan Mullen, especially coming out of something like this. Dan Mullen is at that point in his professional career that his only focus is winning football games. He doesn't care what you say about him, what I say about him. He doesn't care what you think about him, what I think about him. He doesn't care what anybody says about him. The only thing he cares about are those cats in that locker room and the brand that he's representing. And that is literally it. His job security is solid. He knows he's not going anywhere unless he's going up. Right? He's not worried about that. He don't have to worry about what he says making boosters mad. He only cares about winning that game, winning the next game, and being able to recruit. And James, that has been so obvious the last year with Dan Mullen. He has said and done things Steve Spurrier-esque and gotten away with it. And in some cases, like, you can tell those guys love it. You can tell they like playing for Dan. The staff that I've talked to love coaching with Dan Mullen. This guy don't give a damn about any of us as long as that scoreboard says victory on it.
I mean,
and if that's my coach, I'm cool with that. I don't care if he's goofy or anything.
Yeah, no, he's definitely that. The only thing that I don't like is, and I know you have to do this, right? It's just don't issue the joint statement. The fight happened, man. The fight.
Oh,
Now
I don't think that was the coaches.
I will say this.
I don't think the coaches had anything to do with that.
And I just got a text, and I did a little research. I won't lie. Now, a couple of them cats, you know, maybe I wouldn't want to fight those guys. I know Little Rock. Anybody from East St. Louis or Little Rock, Arkansas, they
if there's been HBO specials made about your hometown,
they might have seen some things, man. I typically say thugs don't go to college, but maybe these guys are, it might be a little tough. Okay, I give them a little. I give them a little credit, a little buy. But yeah, that's $25,000. This might be the best marketing. For the people that matter. And I want to preface this. So, like, to the random fan that believes that you should be buttoned up, you should have hoodies and no earrings and stuff like that. That, you go to church every Sunday, which is no problem. Nothing wrong with that. Your life is a lot different than a lot of these kids. You're right. This is an embarrassment to the university. You don't want this. This does not represent the university in a positive light. To the people who are on the football field that actually win you football games, this is the greatest $25,000 you could have spent.
Bro, if you think this doesn't represent the university, right, you don't even want to know what you don't know about.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're fine. You just have your morals, and you're like, no. Like your Greg Sankey quotes, like, I mean, this is perfect. Like, there is no place in college football for the kind of incident that took place at halftime at the Missouri and Florida game on Saturday night. Everyone involved is responsible for meeting sportsmanship standards throughout the game. Running on the field to confront a game official, the gathering of teams in on-field confrontation, and student athletes throwing punches are all disappointing at any time. But even more so as we work to support healthy competition during a pandemic. Wink, wink. I'd have been like, man, hey, like I tell my son this. If it comes down to it, son, throw hands. I'll deal with it. Like you tell them to call your dad.
Throw them first.
Like, throw them first.
Throw them hard.
Throw them hard. Don't get knocked out. I'll figure out how to deal with the consequences if we want to figure. Like, we'll get you lawyered up, son. Don't worry about it.
I know you hate when people do this to you, but I've got a request.
Okay.
Because we're gonna come back. We're gonna get into our boy, Javon Wims.
Okay.
Juice Wims.
Yes.
And
free juice.
Just so y'all know, we are a pro Javon Wims show. Javon is in my facility all the time. Javon has been in here multiple times. Javon is my dude. Like, he loves our show. We love him. But the thing that I thought about yesterday when I watched this was Mad Dads.
Me too.
And so I want to see if we can maybe get Mad Dad's opinion on this Javon Wims situation.
I'm sure everybody was very opinionated about this, and I did talk to Mr. Foy. Mr. Foy was very he took a side that most people would not think that he would take. And I was very shocked, and it helped turn me.
Okay, well, that's good. We'll get to that coming up next.
Georgia, Florida, with a likely trip to the SEC championship game on the line. Our coverage begins Saturday at 2. College Football Saturday on 1010XL is brought to you by Community First Credit Union and Travis Cummings and the Bailey Group.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, just hearing those 3 words brings feelings of fear and anxiety. I'm Jonathan David Suryash, Managing Tax Attorney at J. David Tax Law. Everyone knows that if you owe the IRS and don't pay, it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. The first step to resolution is our no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your specific tax problem step by step. We explain exactly what your options are and how we will resolve your tax issue. J. David Tax Law is a local firm right here in Jacksonville, where only an experienced tax attorney will represent you. Our fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. If you have tax problems, call us now for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777, or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. That's jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Today's debate, Beaver Toyota versus Beaver Chevrolet. Why would someone buy a new car from you?
We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes.
Who has the best-selling vehicle?
We have the #1 selling car in the world, the Toyota Camry. Well, we have the #1 selling truck, the Chevy Silverado.
So when is the best time to buy a car?
Right now.
Come see why Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine and Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville deserve your vote.
This message has been approved by Linda Beaver.
Looking for a different golf experience and new adventure? This is Russ Libby, and I'd like to invite you to bring a foursome to the Hidden Hills Golf Club. Log on to hiddenhillsgc.com and book your tee time today.
Heating and air conditioning problems come at you pretty fast. And earlier this year, I had to replace the system at my house. Hick in here, we chose Bueller Air Conditioning and a Carrier Infinity Comfort System. Put it simply, we have been thoroughly impressed. Call now and schedule your free estimate for Bueller Air Conditioning for a new Carrier home comfort system. Carrier turns to the experts. You'll always stay cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
It's so good it's scary. Mike Dempsey here for the monster turkey and cheddar triple wedge from Dandy Foods. 3 halves of plain old deliciousness that'll satisfy even the hardiest of appetites with fresh sliced smoked turkey, cheddar cheese on both sides, thank you very much, and they top it with creamy roasted red pepper mayo and serve it on fresh Pullman wheat baked the night before. It's a monster of a meal at just over $5. So the next time you're out and about, stop in at your local Circle K and make yours a monster turkey and cheddar from Dandy, and do it today.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 2nd, 2016, the Chicago Cubs defeated the Cleveland Indians 4-3 in the World Series, capturing the team's first title in over a century.
Instant Keys specializes in creating replacement automotive keys and keyless entry remotes, even when all the originals are lost or broken. Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including the high-end luxury models like BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti. With Instant Keys, you'll get dealership-level service at a fraction of the cost, without the hassles. For honest professional locksmith service, call the best around. Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Guys, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley Ide with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. GainsWave is a safe, in-office medical procedure that breaks up blockages, repairs blood vessels, and restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. You'll be spontaneous again. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. There are no shots or risky surgery with GainsWave. The fact is, half of all men are dealing with some form of erectile dysfunction or declining sexual performance. Let our team at Synergenics Elite Health help you get your sex life back on track. Call Synergenics at 904-500-5500. Mention this station to get $150 off your first treatment. Consultations are free, and our private concierge health practice means no wait time. For more information about GainsWave, call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 today. GainsWave, be ready.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Ellie Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our legal team can help you understand your options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I just cannot say enough good things about my friends at Pella Windows and Doors. They have the highest quality products, the strongest limited warranties in the industry, and they just flat out look amazing. But don't just take my word for it. Consumer Reports still has Pella rated #1 in all 3 major window categories, so why not go with the best? Call them today or visit the Pella showroom, and be sure to ask about the latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows. That's Pella Windows and Doors on Phillips Highway, and tell them Mike sent you.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. 1010XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
It is a Sports Den filling in for Rick Ballou. We're with you for 4 hours tonight. inside the Quick Draw Rapid Testing Studios. Quick Draw Rapid Testing, if you have been exposed to the COVID or you think you may have it, you're feeling symptoms, or you're just uncertain, get to Quick Draw Rapid Testing over off of St. John's Bluff. You can go to the website, QUIK, no C, QUIK, quickdrawrapidtesting.com. $40, and 10 minutes later, you will know what your situation is with the COVID. Just be safe. You're going to spend a lot of time around family these next couple of months. Just keep it good. Keep it good. Go to Quick Draw Rapid Testing. So I'm sitting there watching Saints Bears yesterday. I'm a Saints fan. And I'll be honest, this is how this happened for me.
Okay.
So I'm watching it. Walker, Angie, and myself sitting there watching it. And all of a sudden, I see this dude losing his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, what? Who does he think he is? And then I saw that it was Wims.
Mm-hmm.
And I flipped like that, like, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, what did you do to that fine young man?
That's the first thing I said.
That has him losing his mind. And then I instantly went to, wait a second, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You can't fool me. You just got done. You're fresh off a butt kicking in practice from your own guy. At some point, you got to stop instigating this crap because you're getting the crap kicked out of you.
I mean, when your own teammate whoops your ass, like, that's just
your own
like,
all-pro.
Like, and you know how I know who won that fight? Because he was suspended. Like, nobody suspends the guy who was the lesser of two evils. Like, they typically suspend the guy who took it to the next level, and everybody's like, oh, well, you know, Chauncey just does a really good job of getting up under people's skin, and this is what he does. And I'm like, yeah, he get up under their skin, and then he gets his own skin exposed, apparently.
At some point, he's going to get tired of getting the crap kicked
Like,
out
I mean, you've got to, like, this, you can't have an alligator mouth with a hummingbird ass. Because your mouth writes checks that your ass can't cash. And that's really what we were seeing. And the first thing I said, I was like, yo, that ain't juice that I know. Not the one who came in here, not the kid that I've seen in the facility. Like, I've never tested him. I would never, there's no need to do that.
Listen, a guy that's got a combination of Miami and Duval.
Right. Yeah. But like, that's that kid was just literally there, and he's just very chill and laid back. Happy to be in the league, happy to be doing things. But it was like the way he approached, you know how this is what made me know, just again, mentality, growing up, switching to going back and forth about different things. When anybody approaches you with that kind of perseverance or determination, they turn to you, snatch whatever it was. I guess it was mouthpieces or whatever. Yeah. Square you up and then punch you. That's not a sucker punch. You saw that coming. Yep. Now, you got snapped back. You were thinking the gall. I can't believe somebody actually called me on my mess. And then immediately a couple more flew. If you knew you weren't wrong, you would have thrown the first punch. Anybody who's looking for punches, because and then especially when I found out that I guess 10 minutes before that, when they were on offense the last time, he apparently did something. Now Juice alleges that he was spit on. You know, if you did something like that, you can't just believe that no retaliation is going to come. A phrase that I've heard, if you never mind, I can't use that phrase. But anyways, if you think something's soft, I guess if you think something's sweet, then go ahead and taste it. That's basically a better way to say it. And boy, did he get tasted.
Well,
like,
you know what was weird to me was Juice hit him and then backed off like he expected
him to come back. Like
and then when he didn't get it, you know what Juice did?
Went right back at him.
Like, to me, after I went back and watched it for like the 30th time.
And he didn't, like, people were like, well, what good does it get? People, I could tell who's never been on a football field. And that's not a knock. That's not a bad thing. It's just, I understand your frame of thinking. But I also understand that Juice has thrown a punch on the football field before. It was not a closed fist.
Yeah.
It is idiotic
it was the
to throw a closed fist at somebody. But it also makes a statement. And this is for, any masculine man would know this. One of the worst things that could ever happen to you is not getting punched. It's to get slapped.
Mm-hmm.
You punch a man, if you got respect for a man, you're going to square up and you're going to punch him. He slapped him because there was no respect in that. Because he felt the ultimate disrespect. Now, I know this. If you spit on me, best believe there's something coming. Now, I don't know if he did or not, but that's the worst thing that you could do to me. Like, don't expect the cool, calm, and collective James. You're gonna the thing I would have done was taking it to the next level is because you can when you punch like that and they don't got no visor, them hands can slide up under that face mask. Oh yeah, it gets nasty. Like, see, understand that football is a sport that is very, very aggressive and nasty when it gets to certain intimate moments like that, whether it be the pile, whether it be a one-on-one fade. So to not have any regard lets me know, and I was talking to a good friend, our boy Keith. Keith Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, you're great guy. Keith was like, nah, man. I was like, Keith, that ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing crazy about that boy. That boy is very sane, and we saw that with Chauncey Gardner. I was like, Chauncey is a sane individual because an insane individual would have known that something was coming, that you can't do that. Or if no retaliation happened, you know what he would have kept doing? He would have kept bullying them. And that's really what it all comes down to.
Well, let me tell you how I know Javon Williams hurt Gardner Johnson's feelings. Because Gardner Johnson went to Instagram.
Oh, yeah, when they go to IG and social media.
And said that man punched like a female with a crying, laughing emoji. That's a giveaway that he hurt you, bro.
I just, again, I'm only responding for what he said. He punched you as such. He slapped you. He would have punched a man that he had regard for. But the thing that's good about all of this is that the only way to stop a bully is to confront a bully. I guarantee you what will never happen again when they line up again is that, or I mean, maybe he will. Maybe sometimes you got to teach tough lessons to slow learners. But I believe that the NFL does have a problem with these guys going around and we as a sports den hashtag stand with juice. That's what in your support, tweet it out. Hashtag stand with juice. This is how we feel. We will not stand behind because there is this slogan in Duval. And he is very Duval. Nothing's more Duval than what he did. It was said by the leaders of the Duval movement.
Mm-hmm.
If you come into these stands, you will catch these hands. Ain't nobody gonna run our test us.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody gonna run our test him. You're not gonna punk me on this football field. Now, granted, he's gonna learn a valuable lesson. But I hope the Chicago Bears will remember this when it's time to re-up. But something that I believe that there was a PSA cut today about this. About this. And Mr. Floyd told me that this was going to happen. And there was some things that they were going to be that are part of it that I think the people need to know about.
Okay.
City of Jacksonville, there was a terrorist attack on the football field with the Chicago Bears versus some chumps down in New Orleans. Now, they have a very good upstanding quarterback in one Drew Brees that you want your children to be like. You want them to be good Christian principled men. But then again, for where there's a good, there's the yin, there has to be the yang. And that's Chauncey Gardner Johnson. This man had to be stopped. Hashtag stand with Juice. Chauncey Gardner Johnson has been going around trying to bully the most prima donna position in all of sports, the wide receiver position, because he felt that they are softer than fresh baked cookies. Now, what he came across was an Ed White commando who doesn't have that much experience in football, was more of a basketball player. He whooped his ass, and he's at the University of Georgia. And he said, I'm going to try to whip his ass now that we're in the NFL. You know what Juice Williams said? No, it's got to stop. He talked to the 10 of his teammates, plus the quarterback Nick Foles, and said, hey, I got to give him a Duval salute. He ran over there, snatched his mouthpiece out, and slapped fire out of him and said, hey. And he didn't say nothing back. So he took that as disrespect. So he slapped him 2 more times. until people came over there and broke it up. Thank God that the Lord was with Chauncey Gardner Johnson, because if nobody came and broke that up, we could have seen another murder, and murders are on the rise in both Chicago, New Orleans, and Jacksonville, and this murder would have been accounted for all three of the cities, and it's got to stop. But bullying is what's the problem, and what you can't do is bully a Duvalinian, and right now we're going to go hashtag stand with Juice, because he is teaching our kids the right thing to do. You're not going to Ron Artest us. Amen. Hit me up on Facebook and tell me what you think. Mad Dash, the voice behind stopping bullying and Trump Gators.
I'm just sitting here thinking in my head, like, yo, like what? Like, I don't know who. Like, all right. Remember how I just said I was just applauding University of Florida, right?
Yeah.
I was just applauding University of Florida for taking it there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know it was Newton's law. I don't know which one of them, but I think it's that. Science wasn't my thing. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Correct.
You got to know that there's going to be a reaction that's coming
Mm-hmm.
if you do something. If you don't, then that lets me know that you're an actor. You're not who you're depicting to be, or who you're trying to persuade the nation that you are, and you should stop that. It's the difference between Jalen talks trash.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jalen has instigated a couple of them, but that was legit. It wasn't no spitting. It wasn't no snatching chains. It was probably his voice.
Jalen got choked out.
Yeah, I'm saying, but Jalen's voice, because I always tell people, I think what he told that dude was like, I'm going to take your girl and we're going to go shopping for purses together. Something like that really just pushed him over the edge. But there's the Jalen, and then there's the Cortland Finnegan.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather be Jalen all day and not Cortland Finnegan. Because Cortland Finnegan said, again, in wide receivers that normally don't say much. Now, granted, you didn't get Andre Johnson, Courtney.
No.
But I think he could have gone that way. I think he could have gone that route.
Well, 613 just hit us up on the text line. Says, I really enjoy you guys, but I think you're way off tonight.
Okay.
Retaliation is not the best way to handle things. I realize that football is a very intense sport, but you have to calm down. And a real man learns how to control his emotions. What 613, you're right. But what we are suggesting is a real man also realizes when he does things habitually and it's a pattern, at some point, what James is saying, you're going to get put in your place. And if this would have been the first time for Chauncey Gardner Johnson, whether it was Javon or anybody else, I'd have been like, yeah, that was a little out of control. I ain't blaming Javon for this one. I'm sorry, 613. I can't. Not when your own teammate is fresh off of beating your butt at practice because you're being a little turd. Like, you're playing a sport that is, put it this way. If RJ aggravated me to the point in a professional environment like this, I wouldn't go in there and start throwing hands with RJ.
Right.
If we're on a football field and it's like, okay, I'm not going to get arrested for it, then maybe I do.
Why we got to talk about fighting me?
Because you're
first it was the dying thing. Now I got to be the guy that gets beat up. Like, come on.
Things happen.
What it
It
is.
gets real in radio.
It is what it is. Don't talk crappy. You ain't gonna worry about it. But
when have I ever talk crap to you?
But the point is, they're in between lines you happen to be watching. Right? I mean, this happens all the time when we're not watching in football. The only difference is this game's televised. It's an actual game, not practice.
Mm-hmm.
And he had enough. Now he's going to pay his debt to society, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to sit out a couple games. It's going to cost him a bunch of money. And 613, you're right.
Yeah.
You should control your emotions, but he didn't. And we're just simply saying we ain't mad at him about it.
I mean, listen, man. My mom told me there's positive and negative consequences in everything that you do. Don't cry. I've heard one thing I haven't heard you say. He didn't cry 1 minute. He do his time.
He had to apologize.
And I really respect that. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't watch sports, and I don't tell my kids to watch sports to be like their societal role models. I want them to play football like those guys. That's it. But I would tell him if that happened in a football field, and you feel like you've weighed the consequences, which I believe he did, because obviously he thought about this for 10 minutes, because that was the first thing he did after the play.
Yeah.
He weighed the consequences, and I mean, I've been there before.
I'll take it a step further. If, as a parent, you watched that last night, and you talk to your kid about you shouldn't act this way, the way that Javon acted, but you didn't take that opportunity to explain. Now, if you're like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you may have this coming to you in life. Then you're probably going to have a kid that grows up to be a turd. And they're going to instigate, thinking that nobody's ever going to do anything to them. There's two things to learn from that. That's all I'm saying. Two sides to that story.
I'm gonna take it another step because I know we got to take a break. And 613, it's a rhetorical question. And nobody has to answer this. There is a professional sporting league where this happens. It's part of the game all the time. It's very violent. It's very skilled in a physical sport. The most that happens is the guys get put in timeout. In hockey, if something like that happens during a game, they literally stop the game and allow the two people to hash out whatever vengeance they have, and then they put them in timeout. No different than a majority. If anybody went to grade school in the 80s and 90s, no different than what we had.
Kind of 8 o'clock version almost.
Yes.
Yeah, let it all out.
Why is it okay in a professional setting for aggression to be happening there and not here? And I get it. Like, you should, in a normal, like, don't go out there if somebody cuts you off in the road and go out there unless, because the consequences are a little bit more dire. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. You're going to get arrested.
Don't do it
you're
at your job, but you're not playing NFL football.
It's a safe environment, and you know it's not going to get out of hand.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But you know what? People have their difference of all these different things. I know this. When I seen that happen, I know Juice. I've seen Chauncey on Twitter bash his own university that gave him everything and like go off on a tangent on that. And I've never heard a peep outside of Juice except for when you're front and center with him and you're asking him his opinion. He's been nothing but an upstanding gentleman. So the first time that I even saw this, my first reaction was, what did Chauncey do?
Exactly.
And that's what I guarantee you, ask anybody, a majority of them said, what did Chauncey do to instigate it? So a lot of times when you hear that and that's the first thing that people say, that might mean people know you might have earned that ass.
I have to go back and look at the film, but I don't remember a ton of Saints players hopping in this thing either.
It was two guys that were around, but nobody was like going out of their way to get there. And that really
should tell you something.
Lets you know everything.
We got to take a break. When we come back, I want to get into Florida, Georgia a little bit. Let's talk about the games that just happened. We talked about the fight, but let's actually talk about the games. Have a very strong opinion about the Kentucky-Georgia game. We'll get into that coming up next.
We are going to push each other physically. This is a physical game.
Injuries are often the X factor in sports.
It's a big boy game.
The personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah bring you the injury update.
Welcome to the National Football League. Let's go, baby.
On 1010XL.
To celebrate the reopening of StreamSong Blue and Red, we are bringing together the best screens in golf and the game's most coveted putter. On October 1st, StreamSong will debut Mach 1, the best putting service in golf. Book your StreamSong Stay and Play 36 now and receive a Titleist Scotty Cameron Special Select 2020 putter of your choice plus head cover. 2-night stay in StreamSong's Lakeside Lodge, a round of golf on both StreamSong Blue and Red. Packages available October 1st to November 29th. Call them at 866-775-9086 or go to StreamSongResort.com.
My trip to Israel last year profoundly changed me. I traveled from Gethsemane, where Christ prayed, to Mass on the Sea of Galilee. I went to Bethlehem to see where he was born, and then to his tomb, where he rose from the dead. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, but it was a place at the Sermon on the Mount where we were taught the Beatitudes that gave me a renewed sense of purpose, to always protect the hopeless, the helpless, and the powerless. Those principles are why I used my good fortune to help build the Morgan & Morgan Hunger Relief Center at Second Harvest, and why we have spent millions of dollars to raise the minimum wage in Florida. My purpose today is different than when I first started. My firm has been my ministry after my brother Tim was hurt. Never did I think we would become the largest injury firm in the world, but here we are, and we are here for you. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Morgan & Morgan, for all God's people. Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all. Offices, Jacksonville.
Dr. Carlson has provided premium dental services to the Jacksonville area for over 30 years. Carlson Dental Group's priority is patient experience and satisfaction. Our biggest referrals are from our own patients. I've been one for more than 10 years. Carlson Dental Group also has the most innovative technology and equipment to give our patients the best dental results and long-lasting health. From dental cleaning to a complete smile makeover, Dr. Carlson and his team gives the highest quality dental care and most comfortable environment. Call today, 904-425-2300.
Are you a salesperson who always hears, your price is too high, or is that the best you can do? Well, what do you do? Hi, I'm Stacy from Sandler Training, and what you could do is invest in yourself and attend our negotiating boot camp, November 12th and 13th, and be the best player in the negotiating game. Call me for more, 904-646-1900. That's 646-1900.
Hey, Hicken here. I've been telling you Googans about MyPillow for a few weeks now. I love it. More importantly, BWR, beautiful wife Reagan, loves it so much that we even got some of those super comfy Giza Dreams bed sheets and a MyPillow mattress topper. You know that feeling when you just love getting into bed? Multiply that 100 times with MyPillow. We even got MyPillow towels. They got all kinds of great stuff on sale now. But I'm going to tell you something right now. What a gift. Get your wife a MyPillow. Buy one, get one free. It's out there right now. It has a 10-year warranty, but MyPillow has just announced they're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee into next year. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2021. Telling you, you're going to love it, and you really got nothing to lose. So go to MyPillow.com, call 800-684-5457, use promo code 1010XL. When you do that today, you'll receive their best offer for 1010XL listeners. Buy one MyPillow and get another one absolutely free.
Attention homeowners, do you have water damage, mold, or a leaky roof? If so, go to callalice.com with Floridian Public Adjusters. You may be entitled to money from your insurance company. That's callalice.com. No recovery, no fee. Callalice.com. We fight for you.
Are you ready to replace the windows in your home? Don't know which company to hire? Because they all say the same thing anyway? Made for Florida, built for Florida. This is the best window for your home. 30, 40, 50% off if you sign today. The culture of Kohler Homes is to offer options from all the Florida-approved manufacturers, not just one. Without the pressure sales of buy this window today. We'll provide an educating consultation, have a sales pitch, then pinpoint the best option no matter who the manufacturer is. Don't fall for the pressure sale and don't limit your options. Let the consultants at Kohler Homes of Jacksonville help you choose the right manufacturer. Kohler Homes, the right choice.
McKeever Clinic is home to the first advanced prostate cancer center in Jacksonville. This is Dr. West, urologist at McKeever Clinic. Our clinic is staffed with 2 urologists that specialize in advanced prostate cancer care and management. You'll also have a dedicated nurse navigator that will coordinate timing, medications, insurance, and patient assistance. We're conveniently located off AC Skinner Parkway on the south side. Contact our specialist at McKeever at 355-6583 to discuss your treatment options.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. Monday Night Football is preparing to go underway in just a little over an hour. The New York Giants will square off against Tom Brady, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff will be at 8:15 on ESPN. Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone confirmed today that Gardner Minshew is out this week with a thumb injury, and that rookie QB Jake Luton will get starter reps in practice over veteran Mike Glennon as the Jaguars prepare for Sunday's game against Houston. All pregame, in-game, and postgame will begin at 8 a.m. on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Florida defensive lineman Zach Carter and linebacker Antoine Powell will have to serve a half-game suspension against Georgia for their role in the fight in the Missouri game. 57 degrees at 7:08. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
It is the Sports Den brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. This election eve, which means that you probably should go by ABC.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and get stopped. just in case. Like that's you can get
No, just in case.
You
want to be drinking tomorrow.
Just letting you know, like, because they'll deliver to you if you get over $50. You type in sportsden 2020 anywhere in the state of Florida. All the people listening, you're good for that. But you don't have to just keep it to liquor, like in beer. They sell like other stuff, like
champagne,
cheese, meat, crackers. Like I think they
Water.
have chocolate filled
We have
liquor.
Alcavita in there?
We're working on that.
Okay.
We're gonna work on that, getting them in there. But you can get a lot of things from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. ABCFWS.com if you want to be able to have them shipped to you. You know who's probably been like who I really want to punch?
Oh, who?
Well, Dave Caldwell, for one.
Okay.
But felonious fullback. The fullback with the felonies that we brought
what
in.
happened?
He's suspended for 6 games. You know what happens when you don't play football for 3 years and all of a sudden you become physically fit enough to be able to play in the NFL season? You've probably been juicing.
He got caught.
In this climate where everybody talks about, oh, we want the right type of athlete. We want the right type of person. You couldn't write this script any better. This was America all written over it. He was a white fullback from Army.
The guy they cut.
The guy you cut.
Connor Slomka.
You got with the name like Slumka, who gets in bar fights to protect the honor of stolen valor.
Yep.
Like he is the guy that you literally. We need He is the locker room guy. Who wouldn't like this guy? He can drink, but he's responsible, and he defends. And you know he's going to have to defend our country at some point. The articles write themselves.
And you know, I met Connor Slomka over the summer, and he is exactly what you think. No neck. Like, dude walks into a bar, and he walks up to you talking about stolen valor. You're like, my bad, Mr. Slomka. Looks like he's been in a couple bar brawls.
He's what you want.
No doubt.
But what do you do when you say we want good guys? We want locker room guys. You get rid of all these people that, you know, you've convinced the fan base aren't any good because they're terrible, toxic people. You go and bring in a fullback who was charged with a felony for beating up old people, who ain't played in 3 years or something like that, and who's not any good. Who had to use performance enhancers to get himself prepared. Even if you're going down the path of tank for Trevor, this still is a good thing. This is at least something that every time people complain about you losing, just pop up a Connor Slomka story. And don't forget about it, because it's a military town, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have hooked you up with the military. Like, they got the public affairs office is here. They got one in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They would have loved it. Just Slumka stories all over the place. But no, you go and get this turd.
He's been juicing.
Whose urine is hot. How you fail a drug test a year, not even a full year, a few months after they literally just lessened all the restrictions on the drug test? That means when you took that needle, you were just like, we're going to up it.
I got to get back in. And to be fair to him, he got paid for 7 weeks. More than what he would have gotten paid without it, I guess.
I'm saying, like, these are scammers, man.
I want to get on.
I'm just more mad because I like Slumka.
Can I get on Florida for a minute?
Sure.
Florida, Georgia. Actually, more on Georgia. Georgia, Kentucky was one of the worst football games I've ever watched in my life.
The stat line looked like it.
Oh, it was so bad. It was just awful. It looked like a Pop Warner game. I've got my own feeling on Kentucky and how they handled Joey Gatewood's first start. Anybody that's seen Joey Gatewood knows that what they tried to do with Joey is not what you do with Joey.
Did they just try to make him a drop back passer?
No, the opposite.
They tried to make him.
They literally ran the ball every time and just had him hit checkdowns the entire time. Joey could throw a ball 70 yards. Like, literally what you do with Joey is you drop him back and you tell everybody to run as far as they can.
And then let him, if he can't find anybody open, run.
Let him scoot. And they completely neutralized Joey and called themselves out of a chance to win against a Georgia offense that is horrific. Terrible. I don't know what they're doing in Athens, bro. I was telling somebody this earlier today. It was actually a reporter, and I even asked him because he asked me my opinion. And I said, off the record, we'll bump it. We're going to put it on the record right now. Here's what Georgia is right now.
Ooh, okay.
Georgia is that high school team or that middle school team or whatever that just is better than you are at every position. And so it's like they don't really even practice anything but being physical. And so most games, they just walk out there and they just beat you with their athletes. There's no scheme. There's nothing else that has anything to do with it. They're just going to throw the ball down, and then they're better than you are, so they're going to beat you. That's what Georgia has become. Georgia is against Kentucky. It doesn't matter that we can't do anything offensively. We're good enough with our 4 and 5 stars that we feel like we're going to line up, and at the end of the day, we're going to beat you. Then when they go play Alabama, and people wonder, well, why does Georgia always have the lead and then lose? Well, that's why. There's no scheme to it.
One program adjusts better than the other.
One program demands that they have the 4, 5, and 5 stars, and in addition to that, they demand that they execute at a high level. Mm-hmm. The other program only demands that on one side of the ball. And Georgia fans, before you start getting on me, y'all saying the same thing, and you've been saying it for the past 3 years.
3? You fired a coach who'd averaged 10 wins a season.
I'm going to give Kirby. I'm going to say even while Kirby's been there, they said this the last year of Chaney, when Chaney was the OC. Okay. Chaney's the problem.
Oh, it's always somebody else.
Yeah, we're going to bring in somebody else. So then y'all brought in the guy last year whose name I can't even remember now, from Miami. Brought him in. Oh, no, he's the problem. He's the problem.
Coley?
Yeah, Coley. He's the problem. So then you bring in Monken. And now 2 of the 3 that I've just named are elite level coordinators. Are you going to just at some point look in the mirror and go, oh, well, maybe it's not their fault? Maybe it's at the highest level.
Here's what you got to understand about the person who runs the program, right? The head coach. The head coach, the direction the program is going to go. And so what do I mean by that? You have a defensive-minded coach. So unless he's like Saban, who's willing to step back and humble himself, and say, you know what, we're going to flip this. I need to run the spread offense. I need to hire a guy. Our defense will adjust to the offense. Where for years, the offense adjusted to the defense. Mm-hmm. That's when you look at so if your offensive coordinators aren't doing well, it means that they want to do something that they don't get the opportunity to practice or that goes against the philosophy of the guy who's in charge. Kirby wants to make sure that, and they got that defenses to a T. He just hasn't found the coordinator that matches him. Where you want to see where it really sparks up, because ain't nobody going to try Kirby. Go back, Florida State, Mark Stoops and Jimbo Fisher. You think Mark Stoops left? I mean, this is no disrespect to Kentucky, but do you really think Mark Stoops went to Florida State to get a job in Kentucky? During that era when people were getting the defensive court, when you're literally one play away or basically one step away from really getting that 2013 national championship in which they got, he had the D coordinator, but there was so much friction and tension going back about which direction the program is going to go. So I think that's really where you're seeing a lack of control unless Kirby gets a guy who's not afraid to tell him, no, this is what we're going to do. And the problem is, if you're that good, why would you subject yourself to the headache that you're going to get?
But the thing about it is you've got the players.
Right, yeah.
You've got what do you and you know, I'm saying this knowing that Florida Georgia week is here and that I could end up eating my words, but that's the reason why I'm saying it. I don't think I'm going to. Stetson Bennett, I said when they named as the starter, is not going to win you football games. You're winning in spite of Stetson Bennett right now. And you're still playing him. And it's like, DeJuan Mathis, you put in for one half, and he was bad. He was terrible. It was really bad. Stetson Bennett hadn't been much better.
Right.
And you're just rolling with this dude? And you're supposed to be a national championship contender.
All right, so this bodes me to ask the question. because there was a quarterback that did enter the transfer portal today from Georgia. If I remember.
Now I'm seeing that he didn't. DeJuan Mathis?
Right.
So did he or did he not?
I don't know. That one I did. That one I don't know, and I really don't care. I don't. We
He's
have
not very
somebody else in the fifth quarter who covers Georgia. That's not what I do. I let my reporters report.
Mhm.
Some podcasts reported that it's not even a Georgia podcast; it's a Hurricane podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reported that Carson Beck entered the transfer portal, or was rumored to, and they were going to get confirmation later. Their sources told them.
Right.
I had no idea this happened. Fifth quarter was buzzing because if that happens, they obviously think, because of the relationship that I have with people who know Carson, i.e. you,
right?
James, can you ask Denny to tell Carson to come to Tallahassee? Same thing on Facebook. I'm like, one, that's not how it works. Two, I'll ask if this is true. So that's what I just sent you. And I just literally, I edited everything out, screenshotted it, boom, boom. Here, does that answer the question for you? LOL, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, I'm not take it for what it's worth, because here's one thing I have known: no matter how sure you think something is, it could go wrong. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure this kid would have at least informed, and I would have got I would at least got I can't tell you.
It was weird because I woke up this morning to a DM from a Georgia reporter, and it said, "Why did Carson unfollow all the Georgia coaches this weekend?" And so I'm like, that's okay. First off, who pays attention?
Everybody pays.
How do you know if somebody unfollowed somebody? Is somebody literally going in and searching?
Yeah. It's a way that you can do it. And there's the follows when it comes to recruiting, that people try to read into different things. And then there's you look at who they unfollow, or if they take all the pictures or Georgia information.
Well, I got that. Like, if
But
you go to Instagram and everybody's taking.
But like when you typically, it's who you either interact with the most or who the most popular people are. When you go to somebody's page, it will show you like people. So like if I'm a Georgia beat writer and I follow Kirby Smart, and I'm looking at Carson's page and it says Kirby Smart is there, and then all of a sudden it's not there, then I'm going to probably think that he unfollowed him.
Well, so I text Carson, because anytime that I get something like that, just so you guys, your reporters, if you're listening, know, I'll screenshot the question and I'll send it to the player just as a heads up. Hey, this was being said. So then about 2.5 hours later, you sent me that. And so then I called Carson. I'm like, what is going on? He's like, I have no idea. So did you unfollow these guys? He's like, Coach, why would I follow? I was like, I've never followed most of these coaches.
So people made us, wait a minute. This is why.
And I'm like, he's got a point. Like,
run that back. Run that.
I said, why did you unfollow the coaching staff? And he goes, Coach, I've never followed them. How would I unfollow them? Now, I'm assuming he follows Kirby Smart through the recruiting process, but he's right. Why would you? And especially, by the way, these guys know enough now to know during football season, you just don't even go on social media. Most of these guys delete the app from their phone during the year.
That's smart. That's what really. I used to hate the Jimbo philosophy, the social media ban during the season. I understand it now. I think it should be. I don't think you should force it, but I've even written articles about my grandmother, and I think I've told that story here before about. I don't know if RJ's ever heard it, but I got my little feelings hurt my sophomore year. I had started the whole season, but it's just how dumb, stupid fans are. I literally started the entire year, but it wasn't in like Street and Smith or the other fullback was there, and the other fullback had got hurt. And so some idiot reporter writes FSU's going to go away from the running game because now the starting fullback. And I'm like, I didn't get hurt. My mom was like, did you get hurt? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm perfectly okay. So the other guy got hurt. And I'm like, let me go read some messages. Oh, we got some punk sophomore fullback and it had my wrong weight. So it had we got some 225-pound lightning ass fullback going in there. And I'm like, oh, we're going to do this. And my little feelings got hurt. So I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, this is going on. They said this about me and blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, baby, they talked about Jesus. They'll talk about you and blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't good enough for me. I needed some more affirmation. So I called the second most important woman in my life. Called my grandmother. My grandmother's not like everybody else's church-going grandmother. She's gotten different as she's getting closer to Jesus' death.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a little nicer, doesn't, but then she had her teeth, she would drink, she wasn't mean, she was upfront. And I said, Grandma, man, they said I'm not any good. They're saying this. And she was like, who told your dumb ass to read?
Mm.
So she's like, did they bring you there to read books or did they bring you there to hit people? She was like, I was like, they brought me there to hit. She's like, well, I suggest you get out there and hit some people and make these people believe that you're good. So the point is that if you read to get attaboys, you're gonna get your little feelings crushed. So like that's smart for guys like Carson
I
to
think
do
most
things
are
like
that way at this point.
except for FSU fans, except for FSU players and the loser schools, not just FSU. Like Miami guys, Miami's not a loser; they're better now. But if you spend a lot of time on social media and you're a player, you're not spending a lot of time in the playbook.
Especially Twitter, because Twitter you get added so much. But
Yeah.
Dom makes a good point, and then we're gonna have to take a break. Dom says, "I'm done trying to understand the college quarterback situations. After FSU told Sims to kick rocks, UGA's guy opted out, etc. I don't know what's going on. UF has a career backup in the damn Heisman race right now. When just a few years ago they couldn't get a quarterback to save their life. FSU, meanwhile, has a guy that has a 0% completion rating,
and he's the next coming of Jesus."
Dom, that's actually really well put. I'm in the business and I don't understand the quarterback situations. I don't know what Kirby Smart and Georgia are doing, thinking. It makes zero sense to me. If y'all watch that Kentucky Georgia game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It looked like you were watching Georgia football from 1980. It was awful. Now, with all that being said, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to Florida. Who has the more questions? Who has more questions going into this game about their team? Is it Florida or is it Georgia? We'll get to that coming up next.
Between the opening kickoff and the final whistle, there's a moment when the rubber hits the road.
Let's go, let's go!
Listen for the Tire Outlet Drive of the Game. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service on 1010XL.
Our standards are the highest I've ever seen in the business, and I've been in this industry my entire life.
That's jewelry veteran Robert Violante at Diamonds Direct, talking about how only the best of the best diamonds make it to the Diamonds Direct showcases.
We start by selecting the very best rough. We cut it, polish it, and then take the top 15 to 20% and offer that to our clients.
That mind-to-showroom concept allows Diamonds Direct to offer superior quality for less.
One thing that always surprises clients is how much further their budget will go with Diamonds Direct. They may have been looking at a 1 carat somewhere else for what they were hoping to spend. Well, at Diamonds Direct, you could get a 1 1/4, sometimes a 1 1/2, and it's really amazing.
And then there's the after the sale commitment from Diamonds Direct, a promise to stand by that jewelry for life for free.
Once you become a Diamonds Direct client, you're our customer in our family forever. We take care of your ring for life for free. You never pay for any service. Anything you ever need done, we take care of free for life.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Hey, this is Sonny's Barbecue Pitmaster Shannon Snell back with another Pitmaster Pro Tip. Never sauce your food too early when grilling or smoking. Barbecue sauces are normally high in sugar, so they need roughly 20 minutes of heat to caramelize on a piece of meat. Saucing too early will burn the sugars onto your meat, giving it a really bad appearance. If you're looking for a great tasting sauce, head into your local Sonny's and pick up a bottle, or order it online at sonnysbbq.com. Sonny's BBQ.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 2nd, 2016, the Chicago Cubs defeated the Cleveland Indians 4-3 in the World Series, capturing the team's first title in over a century.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contact us to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Quality sleep is an important part to your health. Try not to go to bed hungry or stuffed because discomfort can keep you awake.
Also limit nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. The stimulating effects of nicotine and caffeine can take hours to wear off and certainly can decrease a quality night's sleep. And even though alcohol might make you feel sleepy, it disrupts the most important parts of sleeping later in the night. Stay healthy and get some rest before the big game. Go Jags.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega It's TP goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one. Lasts forever on my buns. Only super mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of, like $0 copays on primary care doctor visits and lab tests.
Wow.
Plus $0 copays on virtual visits.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage.
Wow.
To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Wow.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
Make sure you get to thehumidor.com for all of your cigar needs. Thehumidor.com. Huge selection of cigars, already low prices. You're going to go buy a ton of stuff there, and then when you check out, you're going to type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word, and you're going to get 20% off.
The man at Evil Jimbo Fisher on the Twitter had no idea thehumidor.com was a part of the ABC family. 20% off is a damn nice discount. Thanks. That's what we're here for, man.
We're really just here for y'all.
Trying to help y'all out. We're giving. We're always helping, hooking people up, not taking.
And I mean,
if you want to give us something, but we're here to help you
out. Florida, Georgia this weekend. A little different feel to this one with COVID restrictions and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still really good teams that's going to play each other. And it's the classic one team's strength against the other team's strength. One team's weakness against the other team's weakness. It's almost like which of their weaknesses come to play. The thing that happened Saturday night inside of Ben Hill Griffin is Florida played defense. They were physical. They didn't miss a bunch of tackles. There weren't guys running wide open. They got to the quarterback. It looked like a completely different team. Georgia looked like the same team. Top 5, top 3, top 2 defense in the country. Nothing on the other side of the ball. A little bit of running game, but that's about it. I mean, if you're going to use this season as an indicator and not just their last games, which is the way I think you should do it, the biggest questions for Florida is what do they have on defense? Who can they stop? Right? And the biggest question for Georgia is, do they have a quarterback that can beat a team? Or do we have to rely on our defense scoring and a running game? All right. I don't know which the bigger question is, but given the fact that Georgia has so many injuries, and given the fact that Richard LeCount was in an accident yesterday and is out for a minimum of 3 weeks, I think you have to say Georgia has more question marks. I don't think there's any way around that. Because people have tried to stop the Kyle Trask to Kyle Pitts connection. It's hard, especially without Richard LeCounte.
The guy's really good, man.
So I don't think there's any questions on Florida's offense. I think they've proven you're just going to have to score. If you're Georgia's situation, you're not going to light Georgia up for 40. But can Georgia score 28? Right? Or can you really think you can hold this Florida offense to under 28 points? And I don't know. Before the year started, I'd have said yes. But I don't know. I mean, Mac Jones is the favorite to win the Heisman right now. Alabama has all kind of weapons. They lit Georgia up offensively. Being someone that hasn't watched both teams as closely as I have, what's your perspective on this?
My perspective is that we've said it on the show numerous times. It's one of my tried and true Jamesisms. But great defense and a sound running game can win you a lot of football games.
Mm-hmm.
Time of possession doesn't matter to people who don't understand football. Don't watch football as an overall play, like a 4 acts. But when I'm looking at an explosive offense, a situation where I'm going to have a hard time stopping, really 2 connections really right now, because what the cow to cow situation has caused is forgive me, I can't think of the word.
Sony?
Yeah, that guy. I don't want him having the ball. Like
No.
that guy's pretty damn good. So what do I do if I'm Georgia? I do what Mississippi did a pretty good, decent job of. South Carolina did a good job. Texas A&M did a damn good job of. And Missouri actually didn't do a bad job of. I mean, they didn't do obviously as great. They got down really quick, so they had to abandon it. But Florida, and actually, let me erase Missouri. You did a much better job. But 3 of the games, I have you're giving up a lot in the running game, and you can't do that to the University of Georgia because that's their strength. And when you have a quarterback that really can't beat you, that's really what they're going to rely on is can they push you around up front? And really, the last few years, that's how Georgia has dominated this game. They really just beat you up front.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I would go about it and try to keep Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, and Tony on the sideline as much as possible and effectively try to believe I have just as good of athletes, really more so at the wide receiver position, and try to I have better athletes at the defensive end and in interior D tackles to try to get pressure on Trask in a way that nobody really has.
So basically, you've got to replay the Kentucky game. You've got to turn this game, if you're Georgia, into what you did against Kentucky.
Right, to where not only can to where you have to change how Dan Mullen calls his offense.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you're now Florida on the flip side, they've got to dictate the pace.
Yeah,
scoring fast helps you. It completely changes the other team's offense to where now they have to do something that they're not good at doing. So if not Dan Mullen, excuse me, but going back to Georgia, if Kirby can actually, make it to where every possession really truly does count, then that really bodes well for them. That's body punches. That's not in a boxing match. That's not just going for the head. But Florida does have the explosive athletes and the quarterback who does not mind spinning it to where they can actually make this a game. The problem is we haven't really seen. I mean, Mississippi definitely not known for their defense. South Carolina, better team, but it's a shootout. Actually, if we look at every game they've been in, outside of Missouri where it was a thorough ass whooping, it's been a shootout.
I mean, Florida's defense shut Missouri out for 3 quarters.
Right.
The one touchdown was a pick 6.
Oh, okay.
And if you look at Missouri's stat line, 23 rushes for 40 yards.
Well, that's including sacks,
right? Well, they had 248 total yards.
It's not a lot. They threw it 40 times. They had one big play. Well, I guess Jalen Knox had 32 yards. The Roundtree 14 attempts, 14 carries, 36 yards. Not really good. Not a good outing. But outside of this, every game they've had has been a shootout to
But
where
here's
their
where I'm
defense
going
has
with
been.
that. Here's where I think Florida has a little bit of an advantage. And if you've been listening to sportsden, I've been picking Georgia for 11 months. But I'm going to change that, because where Florida has the advantage here is Florida has to do one thing. Just one. They have to stop the run.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
That is literally it. That's all Florida has to do, because if you make Stetson Bennett, like we just had a text line guy text in and say, if Georgia doesn't turn it over against Kentucky, they score 28. No kidding. That's kind of the point. The point is, if you can make Georgia throw the ball the way they're going right now, you win the football game if you're Florida. Load up the box. I don't care how bad you feel about your DBs. Now, you can't do this with Pickens if he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
But load up the box and say, you're going to have to throw to beat us. And if you can do that, if you're Florida, you may run away with this thing.
And I will say this. I don't. Who was South Carolina's quarterback? I don't even remember who their quarterback was.
He's not very good.
Mississippi quarterback, first game
He's
too.
legit.
First game too. So
Corral's legit, bro.
Yeah. Kellen Mond was a Heisman guy before the season started. Better quarterback play, which led to the entire offense being open. So I understand what you're saying. So it really just it's a chess match, which is going to make for a really good football game. Like I'm upset at the time. I will be watching it, but I also have
upset?
Well, Florida State plays at 4, so I have to watch Florida State.
Gotcha.
So
who do you play?
Pitt.
Okay,
but I think it's going to be. I don't think if it's got to be a shootout, Florida's going to run away with it. But if it's a defensive battle, it will be a really good game. Because I don't think Grantham's a bad DC. I think he's just got faced with some crazy things, and people were able to exploit the weakness that that he would tell you, and things that I know only because of my friends, that they're trying to actively recruit to repair.
Yep.
They didn't believe that their safety position is very strong. So they're trying to get good safeties.
Well, and on the text line, and this is all fair, 250, this is Lifetime Enclosures text line. Florida has only had the lead versus Georgia for one series in 3 years and has a total of 34 points in 2 years. Okay. Somebody else I'm looking forward. 382. The question on Florida's offense is Dan Mullen and Brian Johnson. Kirby has had their number. I mean, all fair. I mean, that's all fair. I do think there's a couple things going on here. As much as Georgia fans couldn't stand Jake Fromm last year, Jake Fromm had a ton of snaps in him. And the Florida-Georgia game was not too big for him. Played maybe his best game. Like, he had experience in this game. He had big moment experience against Alabama and Auburn and all that. You don't have that right now. It's not the same. You could make the argument that your weapons at receiver on the outside and that tight end, that humongous tight end that y'all have, are better. But I don't think your running backs are better and your quarterback's certainly not better. So if you guys can neutralize the Dan Mullen, Brian Johnson offense, then yeah, you absolutely have a chance to win. Here's the other thing about Georgia, and injuries are going to be talked about a lot for Georgia. I have said this for the past 10 months. The difference in Florida and Georgia right now is that Georgia has recruited better longer. And so their backups are 4-star guys.
Right.
There's a significant drop-off at UF right now because this is only Mullen's, third recruiting class? It's a significant drop-off in Florida's 1s and 2s. You don't have that from a talent perspective at Georgia. Their right guard goes down, another 4-star comes in. Their safety goes down, another 4 or 5-star safety comes in. Not the same guy, but very talented. So there's still going to be a ton of talent on the field. My only point is right now, I think Florida has less questions than Georgia has. And that's why I'm going to end up picking Florida to win this football game. And frankly, I'm going to be surprised unless Kirby makes a quarterback change. I'm going to be surprised if Georgia actually beats Florida. It wouldn't even be one of those things where, it wouldn't shock me. No, it actually will surprise me based off the body of work that I've seen. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And that's fair.
We need to break again. He's looking at me like, yes, you do. You absolutely do. Let's talk about the weekend that was, the weekend that's coming up in college and pro football. We'll get to that. We still got you for a little bit over 2 more hours filling in for Rick Blue, and then our normal show starting at 8. It is the Sports Den, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. We'll be right back.
To give to Robinson again. Got it near the goal line. Now
that's a touchdown, guys.
Couldn't be more proud of how hard he's playing and working.
Angling for the pylon. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the game from James Robinson on the pass from Gardner Minshew.
Man, he really carried a load today. Caught the ball, ran the ball.
Minshew to Conley for the score, and Jacksonville has retaken the lead.
One thing I was proud of is how he kept fighting.
He blocked the punt. He picked it up. Thomas, the rookie, has scored, and Jacksonville has taken the lead.
We did a good job bouncing back.
Penalties, us defeating ourselves.
It hurts. As long as these guys keep fighting, we're going to figure it out.
Next up, Houston, Sunday at 1 on 1010XL.
Hey guys, this is Ashlyn Sullivan, and I want to take a break here because I'm so excited to talk to you all about this experience Eric Dunn and I are hosting this season called Jags at Home. The Jaguars are actually giving away $2,500 every quarter of every game to whoever predicts the outcome of the game most accurately. That's $10,000 every single game. If you think you know football and the Jaguars, join us for every home and away game at jagsathome.com.
Hello, I'm Chuck Farah. There's one very important thing to you and me and people everywhere who work for a living. We all need a paycheck coming in. That's why, unless you have some sort of money tree in your yard, being injured on the job can really cause some serious financial setbacks. At Farah & Farah, we understand the workers' compensation laws designed to help injured workers. Call Farah & Farah at 396-5555. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Coach Ellen Darley with Darley's Plumbing. Now, I've seen plenty of guys who want to tackle their own plumbing work, and sure, some can. But when the backups just don't make the cut, you need the starting team at Darley's Plumbing. We do it all, any large or small plumbing jobs. Plus, we have 24-hour emergency service, so we'll be there when you need us. When your home field needs plumbing work, bring in the all-pros at Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. Find us online at darleysplumbing.com. License number CFC 056702.
If your facility and equipment play a big part in making your company successful, it makes sense to choose the right partner to help preserve it. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Whether your project requires sandblasting, specialty coatings, or waterproofing, we can help. Our team takes pride in solving the most difficult corrosion and coatings challenges, and we do it with safety as our highest priority. Performance Painting, quality coatings, applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
Hi, I'm Larry Birkins from Birkins Chevy in McClenny. It's that time of year. Score big savings at Birkins Chevy now. New Chevys as low as $199 a month, interest rates as low as 0%, and discounts up to $10,000. New Chevys as low as $199 a month, but the clock is ticking, so come on. So whether you're from GA or FLA, you should be driving a Birkins Chevrolet. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny. Or BirkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Helmets.
Heels.
Sports. Ladies.
Helmets and heels.
Welcome to the revolution. Driven by Tire Outlet.
Brought to you by Underwood Jewelers.
I really do appreciate you inviting me.
Tuesday nights at 6.
Only on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Spicklemeyer Insurance Agency. John Spicklemeyer knows about protection as the best offensive lineman to ever come out of Jacksonville. He's always taken that O-line pride in his protection, from being the city's player of the year at Bowls to playing for Notre Dame. John has always gotten the job done for those who depend on him, and he'll do that for you, like he has me. John Spicklemeyer is my agent. Call John today at 471-7155 for all your insurance needs. That's Spicklemeyer Insurance Agency, protecting what's most important to you. Call John today at 471-7155.
If you're a business owner, property manager, or run a restaurant or hotel, are you tired of your garbage company raising their prices with hidden fees? What if you could add to your bottom line and declare your freedom with the exclusive fixed price guarantee at Freedom Waste Management, a family-owned, locally based waste management company? Visit freedomwastemgt.com to talk to an expert and lock in your fixed price guarantee, premium service, and competitive pricing. That's Freedom Waste Management.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAAbank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag #SelfiesForChange so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us today at TIAABank.com/selfiesforchange. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lauren Brooks here, and I have a new favorite place for buying the freshest seafood in town. Fisherman's Dock, founded right here on the First Coast and recently voted best seafood market in Jacksonville by the readers of Jacksonville Magazine. All 4 locations carry the absolute best selection of fresh seafood from around the world. They make it easy for you to enjoy the freshest seafood at home.
Fisherman's Dock, where seafood lovers shop. Fisherman's Dock, the ultimate seafood shop.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
RJ, talk to me.
What's going on, man?
Are you a cold weather guy?
Definitely.
Do you consider this to be cold weather that we have today?
Yes.
What's your like bottom line number that you're comfortable in temperature wise being from SoCal?
I mean, I like this, but being in SoCal, it normally warms up. It's normally this type of weather in the morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Then once you get later in the day, it starts getting around that 70 to 80 range, and then you're fine. But, I mean, this I can work with. It reminds me of when I first moved here. It was really cold when I first moved here.
Okay. How cold? I mean, this isn't really cold.
It's not really cold, but I do remember when I first moved here, it was chilly, and everybody had told me.
When did you first move here?
I first moved here in February of 2015. Huh. Yeah, so when I first got here, you know, everybody was saying back in California, oh, it's really humid, la, 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 la. I get here and it's really cold. And then later on, I figured out that it's really humid here in Florida. But when I first got here, it was cold. So every time it gets cold here, I'm reminded of when I first got here.
I love this weather.
I might have been coaching still at people. Like, it was one year in February.
No, February of 2015, we just started the show.
No, I'm talking about lacrosse coaching, not football. I was trying to remember what year, because it was like stupid cold, like in February.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to be able to. I could deal with it for a month.
Oh, this I could deal with this for 8 months.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to light a fire. Like, I want to be able to have my Christmas trees up, and I saw you guys have yours now.
Mm-hmm.
Angie
got right on that yesterday.
And I want to be able to have some s'mores, the Hallmark movie on the big screen. Like, I need that image like a few times.
Right.
Then after that, I'm like, okay, if I got to be out in this, like, but then again, I don't have to leave my house anymore like that. So,
RJ, what's your stance on Hallmark movies?
I mean, I watch them, you know, with my mom. I mean, you know, when my mom is watching the Hallmark movies, that's something that my mom and I used to do when I was growing up. Used to do like the Hallmark movie thing, or
be honest. If you're sitting at home by yourself, do you watch a Hallmark movie?
I do not.
Oh, because I'll be honest, I will.
Yeah,
if the right one's on there, I'll watch it.
I'll live tweet that thing too.
Mm-hmm. I am not too insecure to admit that.
Can't wait. Like, I hope Netflix, like, and all those guys do like a whole new, because they all try to come. They still can't take the throne though. Netflix, Lifetime,
no.
Whole bunch of people tried to come after Hallmark, and Hallmark was like, "Hey, hold up, man. We do this."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll do the well, it's not ABC Family anymore, but when they used to do like the 25 Days of Christmas, where they would show like a different Christmas movie every night, like I would do that.
Oh, see, Hallmark's been running Christmas movies for the past 2 weeks. They're
in November.
Oh yeah, they're in stride, bro. You go on Hallmark or Hallmark Murder and Mystery, is that what it's called? Something like that. Yeah. History, whatever. Like, you can 24 hours a day. Hallmark movies, Christmas movies, right now. Watch one last night with the wife.
Now, when they really crank up is after Thanksgiving.
Well, there you got the new ones on now.
Really?
We watched a new one last night. It's phenomenal. It's people made a scavenger hunt. It had to do with Christmas.
I got to get on this.
Yeah.
I'm missing out.
It's good stuff. Last week of college football, James mentioned he didn't really watch a whole lot. Not really upsets. I mean, Oklahoma State got beat, but is Texas beating Oklahoma State in overtime an upset?
Tom Herman beating anybody should not be an upset. Like you have, like you should be on the top of college football.
Yes.
Like he should be fired.
Yeah. Does BYU have a chance? They've got a quarterback that's going to be a Heisman finalist.
Dude, somebody inboxed me about him asking what's your thoughts. Wanted me to ask your thoughts on that quarterback.
He's really good, really talented. There's some things that you still need to see from the kid, but 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he makes throws that are
that
legit.
Touchdown throw, like going down to a wide receiver that like only his guy could get it. Like I told him that was just as impressive of a catch as it was a throw.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's really good, but I mean, they've played Western Kentucky, Texas State, Houston, Texas San Antonio, and Louisiana Tech. That's been their schedule.
They won't be in it for the strength of that alone. But
even if he's a Heisman finalist,
no, you can't. Man, no.
I agree.
You can't put a bunch of Mormon kids against Alabama with that schedule.
This is what college football is this year.
Man,
everybody, it's weird.
Hell no, if you point like there's a team that's kind of good, like if Houston was what we thought Houston would be, then I'd be like, all right, cool, but like, nah, bro.
Okay, let me see. Let's look at their schedule. Hold on, let's see.
They won't even rank them high enough to be considered.
Oh, they've only got 3 games left. They've got Boise State this Friday night.
I give them that one.
Then they've got North Alabama and San Diego State.
No, man, come on. No, you can't. You can't be in the play. This. Nah.
I mean, their closest game. Well, no, never mind. You're right. Texas San Antonio was a 7-point game.
Like, they're fun to talk about. This will be one of those years where, if they want to make a little banner, do your thing.
Well, BYU would never claim a natty. They're not Central Florida.
But but outside of that, it's just they got to know what it is. Does this guy come back? Does this guy have or is he a senior?
Oh, the quarterback?
Yeah.
He's in every mock draft, so I'm assuming he's a senior.
Okay.
I saw him when they played. Who was it they played first? Navy? Weren't they Navy? Didn't they blow Navy out the first game? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I saw him early, like one of their first games, and I was like, "Wow, this dude can spin it." And then he keeps making plays. But like last week, he only completed 56% of his passes. But can't argue 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 2,100 yards.
Man, that's
pretty dang good.
Those are good stats.
Pretty dang good. But if it were to end right now, I mean, what do you do?
Notre Dame, Clemson, Alabama, and who's
Ohio State?
Ohio State.
You look at the top 10. When does Oregon start playing?
They got to be in this month, like a couple weeks, right?
It has to be. Do they have any chance? Because they're only playing 7 games.
They got to go undefeated. Undefeated Pac-12 team, yeah.
I think they got to go undefeated with blowouts. Because would you put an undefeated 7-win team against over a 1-loss Notre Dame? If that one loss, well, I guess they'd have to have 2 because they're playing them again, right? Would you put them in over a 1-loss Alabama if Georgia came up and beat Alabama? Or if Florida came up and beat Alabama in the SEC championship? I wouldn't put Oregon in over that. Only haven't played 7 games.
No, I think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, unless they have to come out and just blow everybody out, somebody does in the Pac-12 for them to even be considered in my eyes.
Yeah, Pac-12. Oh, they play this weekend. Pac-12 opens up.
Who they start off with?
Stanford.
I mean,
there's no games on here, and that's tough for them. They have Stanford, Washington State, UCLA, Oregon State, Cal, Oregon. Like if I'm
Cal,
Oregon.
Cal.
My bad. Cal Washington. My bad. I read it wrong.
So they're going to play a ranked team?
No. If I'm – and not even a team that gives me like a little – man, that's some seasoning right there. That I like to see that game. Like no matter what year it is or what's going on with USC, you got to beat the table to play that team just for the opportunity to be able to play in the college football playoff.
They're only playing 6 games?
I mean, unless I'm missing it, like the 7th, the 14th, the 20th, 27th, 5th, the 12th. There are no more games.
And then a title game, I guess?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sorry. They could win every one of those games.
Yeah, none of that does it for me.
42-14. And they can't get in. Because who would they play on the other side?
USC is the only – I guess the USC would be who they play on the other side. They're ranked 20th right now. And USC doesn't play a rank. Yeah, so it's basically set up. Even though I think Arizona State beats them, I'm going to go ahead and go out put that out there. I like their quarterback.
Yeah, their quarterback's nice.
But they got Arizona State, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Washington State, UCLA.
Yeah.
Wow, they did this is an awful year for them.
There's no way you can put one of them in.
Now, more of them will be ranked toward the end if they're like winning or whatnot, because if you got a 2-3 loss Arizona State over, I don't even know who the top 25 is right now, but
because I was one of those guys that when all this first happened, it was like, Ohio State, Big Ten, the winners got to get in. But now when you start to look at the polls and you see Clemson 7-0, Alabama 6-0, Notre Dame 6-0, Ohio State 2-0, you do look at it like, oh, wow, they've only played 2 games. Like all these other teams have been beaten up. Like they've had to play. And Ohio State's only played 2 games. Now, the reason why I'm pro Ohio State, is because they're that dang good. But Oregon, no. And Oregon's best players aren't even playing, are they?
a lot of I think some of them might have decided to come back.
Did the linemen come back?
No.
But then you look at the top 10 and there's names like BYU in there, Cincinnati. I mean, neither one of them are going to get in. It's just an interesting college football year. Scrolling down the top 25 right now. Ugh. I mean, we got to address this. JJ's here now, right? I was waiting on JJ to get here.
Got the real guy.
I was waiting on JJ to get here. Where are we stand with Ed Orgeron after this week?
He's a fraud. He's dead to me.
Yeah.
I said this weeks ago, and last weekend Saturday just nailed it home.
We vouch for you, bro.
48
to
11.
I put my neck out on the line for
Dude,
you.
this is how you repay me. Like we were out here, like if you can't do both, you don't need to be doing it.
And this is against the sportsden's arch rivals.
Yes.
It's not just like you lost to any old team. You lost to the team that we come on the air and dog every single week, especially their offense.
Should you ever, even if you've had your offense coordinator leave, your defense coordinator leave, and you lost all these starters, if you're LSU and you are every year in the top 5 in recruiting, should you ever lose 48-11?
No.
What do you think Bama does to him this year?
Oh.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to play that Roll Tide what?
Roll Tide what? I forgot about that.
It's going to be bad.
Saban's definitely heard that.
It's like when you're up, you gotta cool it out a little bit, unless you know you're gonna be up for a while. But like, man,
well, he was like, we're gonna kill the whole speech. He was like, we're not just gonna beat them on the field. We're gonna recruit better than them. We're gonna work out better than them. Da 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 da. And then less than 6 months later, it's like
you're still recruiting well, and he's getting hold of that Tiger stuff. But like, dude, all you doing is recruiting right now in the bed, recruiting in the rankings. Like, we need you to coach.
Yeah, there's like a certain college football side of the fan base, people like me who don't care at all about recruiting. Like, you're not making those people happy.
Right.
It's just results. And you were so pro Ed Orgeron.
Oh my God.
He's a likable guy, man. Like, this is tough.
I loved him. I still love him as a person, but as a coach,
Think
I
about
can't
what
have
they've
that.
done this
Trey
year.
is actively recruiting. Look, he's opened his recruitment. Like so,
no.
he's not committed to, he's not committed to staying in the South. Like actually, you might go spend time with his grandfather up in Columbus. Like if he has to.
That's a legitimate program.
Dude, think about this. They gave up 44 points to Mississippi State. LSU did. Since then, Mississippi State has scored 14-2, 14 and 0.
The 2 is what really stands out.
And they put 44
I mean,
on LSU.
People were really legitimately talking about the Pirate like he could be the great.
Like
the
he
GOAT.
broke the SEC.
Yeah, like
Right.
like anybody can coach in the SEC now.
And he hasn't scored since, basically.
Like everybody else has had to stand up for the honor of the Southeastern Conference. Like I imagine the meeting was like how those antebellum films go. Like, I don't even know how to get that voice. I'm gonna try. I can't even get the voice. I don't even know. But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I do declare, Mr. Ed, Mr. Ed Orgeron.
Y'all sound like Elmer Fudd.
That's what
No,
they. Like I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But it's just like
not Elmer Fudd. Who was the rooster guy?
Yeah, that's what. Not.
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
what they
got
all
you.
sound
Yeah.
like.
Who was the
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
He's a caricature of the South. That's what the meeting. That's what the Greg Sankey like changed his real voice. Like he left the fake.
Are you offended when you hear Greg Sankey talk and he just sounds like a normal?
I don't even know
like
how.
Yankee.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how Greg Sankey.
He doesn't have an accent.
That's terrible. Why is he over the Southeastern Conference? I need a powerful Southern man's voice. Like
Forward, hutch, march.
that's what I need. That's how I expect.
This boy's more mixed up than a feather in a whirlwind.
That's what they're saying about Ed right now. That's what they're saying.
Well, to wrap up the LSU thing, I mean, they gave up 44 to Mississippi State. They gave up 45 to a Missouri team that basically Florida just shut out.
Right. It's not looking good for you, Ed.
And then they gave up 48 to an Auburn team that everybody in the country has talked about how bad they are.
Like, question if their quarterback, like,
just throw him with the right hand.
I mean, Auburn scored 29 the first week and then 6 against Georgia. Only 22 against Auburn, 28 against Arkansas. And you gave up 48 and only scored 11? I'm sorry, Ed. I love you, and I'm not going to call you a fraud yet. I'm going to be more loyal to you than what JJ is being. But I'm not far from it.
I found myself, and I found myself almost doing that loser stuff because I like Ed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to catch myself. I'm like, hold on now. No. The standard.
Were you making excuses?
I was like, well, this is what it's got new coordinators that didn't have a spring.
I mean, they lost the best quarterback ever.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, like, it's no spring. COVID. Like, guys had COVID. I mean,
divorce.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of things. Then I was just thinking, I'm like, who cares about that, James? You want to win. You don't care about his personal life or any of these things.
It's the way he's losing too.
Yes, it's bad.
Does anybody like? I just really don't care about excuses that people make for losing. You either win or you lose. It's really
especially not this year because everybody's going through the same.
Right,
stuff.
like you can explain it away, and I have no okay, fine, but you still lost. Like there is no excuse for losing. Like losers lose.
You could go through. You could win a national championship, and you could come back the next year and lose to Alabama, and lose to, even Auburn, right? And those are both competitive games, and we would all be like, okay, yeah, you got a natty. And you came back, you lost 2 games. But to come back and just let everybody score?
Yeah, man.
That's inexcusable. And somehow, to y'all's point, somehow they're still ranked 4th in recruiting.
Like, I don't know what he's got a really good saying to these guys, like,
his talk game.
Hey, it's going to be different, though. Right now, it's going to there. We got to get rid of all these games now. We don't want to win. These guys right here get a little more developed, get some gumbo etouffee in there, and we're going to be good. Go Tigers.
Speaking of incompetent coaches, I do have some special sound from Doug Marone.
Oh, I thought you were going to. Okay.
You want to do that next?
Yeah.
Are we going to do 8 o'clock?
Do we have to do
We're going to do
Doc?
that 8 o'clock at 9.
We do have to do God, we still got Doc. We got 8 o'clock. We got Doug Marone. We're just getting going.
I'll tell you what. We'll break. We'll come back. We'll do a short Doug Marone segment because it's only a few specific sound bites we need to listen to, and then we'll come back with Doc.
Let's do it. We'll be right back.
Special teams are the secret ingredient to a winning team.
All three phases come into play: offense and defense, special teams.
Listen for the Special Teams Player of the Week, brought to you by the urological specialists of McEver Clinic on 1010XL.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful,
Who put this banana in the toaster?
you did?
Cool. Okay. Just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, se-ortho.com. That's where you need to go. If something is bothering you, maybe your foot or your ankle or your back, maybe your shoulder or knee, you need to go to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Stop limping around. Stop complaining about the pain. Go in there and get it fixed. I did it. You should do it as well. If you need physical therapy, that's the place you go right there, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. There's locations all over town, so there's going to be one near you. The best of the best doctors around. That's Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, se-ortho.com.
Blue here. Life can get pretty stressful, especially if you have to work at home and have kids doing online classes. Do yourself a favor. Give our friends at Rem Beach Rentals a call. Work from home, but with the Atlantic Ocean in your backyard. Their properties have free Wi-Fi, so a virtual classroom or office is easy, and you can walk right out the back door and have your toes in the sand. You need a staycation? Go to rembeachrentals.com. That's W-R-E-N beachrentals.com. Tell them Baloo sent you and get a 5% discount.
In its heyday, the merry game of Jai Alai brought thousands to Florida to enjoy the fastest game on earth. Today, Cigar City Brewing pays tribute to the unique gem of Florida sports history with Jai Alai IPA, a bold yet approachable India Pale Ale whose tropical hop notes and caramel malt quality make it as unforgettable as its namesake sport. Find out more about Jai Alai IPA, the premier craft beer of Florida, at cigarcitybrewing.com. Cigar City Brewing, Tampa, Florida. Please enjoy responsibly.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Goals. Last long, it's TP Goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rolls in one. Lasts forever on my buns. Only super mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of, like $0 copays on primary care doctor visits and lab tests.
Wow.
Plus $0 copays on virtual visits.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage.
Wow.
To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Wow.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials: a power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you used your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Hour 3 of the Monday night edition of the Sports Den. We've already talked about Florida, Georgia, our boy. We are JJ. While you were not here, we took a vote as a family, so your vote don't matter at this point, because it would be 2-1 worst case that we are pro Javon Wims.
Oh, me too, because people didn't see the entire thing.
Well, we
but
didn't
actually, first of all, he's a friend of the show.
Right, we didn't care what happened.
Yeah,
before.
but he, what's his name? Johnson.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yes, poked one of Wim's teammates in the face
when he ripped Wim's
mouthpiece out.
Yeah,
so he was just
being
riling people up the whole game. I mean, you get what's coming to you. Sorry, I'm not one that's like offended by somebody fighting in the NFL. And also, for all the people who are like, why do you swing on them with a helmet? You've never been in a fight in your entire life.
Thank you. It feels so refreshing.
Because when you're in a fight, you just do stupid things.
Swing first, swing hard.
Now, what I would have done is
my uncle's always like hit him right in the throat.
Throat is a very good spot. The way
Dangerous.
he threw the way he threw the punch, he could have possibly got inside the face mask. But I'm ear holing you if you really make me mad.
Oh yeah, because that reverb too, man.
Like,
that sound of a hard hitting an ear hole. Oh. Yes, 858 on the text line. Did JJ just substitute with RJ over the break? It's throwing me off.
Yes, I'm a relief pitcher tonight because the boys are working a 4-hour shift, and so
we went to the bullpen.
Just request, because nobody's going to listen to this. Like, we got to go. We just like either you come early, JJ, or we got to give you one of our mini vacations. You work hard. We like it. I want you.
James wants consistency.
But we just need consistency.
Yeah, I'm fine with taking a vacation.
We wasted a really good Mad Dad's bit.
Yeah. I heard. I got a text. I was in the shower. It said, "Where is Mad Dad's music?"
Yeah,
I didn't get to it as quickly as I should have.
But I'm sitting here like, RJ, okay, dude. Like, you don't know when, but there's a potential that this is going to come.
Mad Dad's could walk.
You need to be ready.
Like, you need to be ready at any given moment. Man.
We even gave him a whole segment. A whole break notice.
And you know what it's labeled as?
What?
Because even if he didn't find it where I put it, he could still search for it. It's labeled as Mad Dad's music.
What did Doug Marrone have to say?
Okay.
Yeah,
so Doug Marrone spoke today, mostly about the quarterback situation. So first off, he talked about Minshew's injury. So let's go.
You know, after the game, we played the game, and they said, you know, sore or was hurt. And we don't really think much of it, you know. And then the next day it came in, and they said it was swollen, and then they were going to get X-rays. So that was Tuesday.
You just
Tuesday night,
beats, right?
I find out. Okay. You know, he had the.
It's so much better.
Yeah,
you're
right.
Yes,
you're right. Because like I'm sitting like, what?
It's swollen.
It is so much better this way. You got more for us?
Yeah, I have a few more. Let's finish that one.
You know, after the game, we played the game, and they said, you know, sore or was hurt. We don't really think much of it, you know. And then the next day it came in, and they said it was swollen, and then they were going to get X-rays. So that was Tuesday. You know, Tuesday night, you know, we find out, you know, he has an injury to his. So the plan is to try to get him back to 100%, and I see him being inactive this weekend.
All right. So next, he basically announced the starter, Luton.
You know, I think both guys have to be ready. You know, that's what I've told both players, that have to be ready. You know, I feel like I've seen a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of. So I'm going to go with Jake. You know, this week taking the reps and see how he does.
And what he needs to see from our new starter, Jake Luton?
We got a long way to go. I mean, it's going to start with these practices each day and preparation and, all of that. And I think we'll all know it when we see it. I don't think there's anything that's
that one didn't work.
eye-opening. Just go in there and see if he can and see how he plays against a live rush. I know how he plays, without a live rush.
And last but not least,
well, hold on. For those wondering where this is coming from, we realized that his press conference, being Doug Marrone last week, was amazing because he was just randomly throwing out cuss words.
Yeah,
so
he
much
was like,
we just thought the beeps help him
because he's boring.
Yeah, he's not saying anything, but when you do this, it makes it seem like he's saying.
It makes me
something.
listen.
It definitely makes you listen. Last but not least, if Minshew is the starter when healthy.
I think when you're, at the record where we are now, we're at 1-6. We got to see where, what this can do. I mean, if this comes in and plays extremely well, then what? Then you're going to say, well, how come you're going to bench him and play the other kid? I just think it's common sense. I mean, opportunities create themselves, and if he does well, then we'll see where we're going and make that decision when the time comes.
You got to see what this can do.
The first one was still the best with the thumb.
Oh man,
I love this Doug Marrone. We are helping him.
This will be like a new bit.
Oh man,
I'll try to sneak one or two in there.
We only got a few weeks of it. Hopefully.
By a few, you mean 8 or however many
3
more?
years.
If we bring it, if they sign him again, oh my god!
Until Lot J is done.
So just remember, this all goes away with Lot J.
The losing, embarrassment, the
cussing
bad
at the press
players,
conferences,
bad coaches. All right, we should break. We got to do it, Doc.
Doc Swanson coming up next.
In every 60 minutes of football, there's one play the game could not have done without. Performance Painting presents the high-performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Lou here for NASCAR. Just go to NASCARs.com for a new or pre-owned golf cart. They have a mobile service. Come by, give you a brand new battery. You can upgrade your ride. They're open and available with a 24-hour service. Customize your cart. Favorite team, Jags, Gators, Knowles. Family owned. Visit NASCARs and allow our design team to build your dream cart. Visit NASCARs.com for new or used golf cart repair and replacements. NASCARTS.com.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Hope Haven believes in children and youth with special needs and abilities and has developed programs to help ensure their success. Find out more about their employment services and internship program at hope-haven.org.
Big Brothers Big Sisters nurtures local kids and strengthens communities. You build positive relationships that have a lasting effect on young people. Get involved at bbbs.org.
Habitat for Humanity helps families build and improve their homes. If you want to build a better Jacksonville, visit habitat.org.
Join Jacksonville's City Rescue Mission to help transform the lives of the homeless and needy. crmjax.org.
First Coast YMCA helps develop Jacksonville's youth. You can help our children find a better future at fcymca.org.
If you're involved with a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, visit our website to find out how at 1010xl.com.
These days, more and more women are asking for fancy-shaped diamonds. Ovals, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ashers, marquise, heart-shaped, pear-shaped, emerald cuts. All very popular this year. And no one has more of these special shapes than Diamonds Direct. In fact, we've just increased our selection of these beautiful stones with sizes ranging from a ½ carat up to 10 carats. And while other jewelers will try to tell you these fancy shapes cost more, the fact is, as you'll learn at Diamonds Direct, fancy shaped diamonds should always cost up to 20% less than the same size round diamond. Plus, in many cases, a fancy-shaped diamond will have a larger face and appear bigger than a round diamond with the same carat weight. So, with a fancy-shaped diamond, you can get a bigger look for a lower price and have a diamond that stands out from the crowd. Come to Diamonds Direct and get the facts about fancy-shaped diamonds, see the largest selection, and get the guaranteed best price. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
If you've been involved in a slip and fall accident and are not sure what to do, call me, Glenn Levine, at the Law Offices of Anajar Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
You'll hear Pete Prisco, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, every Friday on The Frangie Show, brought to you by Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Are you ready to replace the windows in your home but don't know which company to hire because they all say the same thing anyway? Made for Florida, built for Florida. This is the best window for your home. 30, 40, 50% off if you sign today. The culture of Kohler Homes is to offer options from all the Florida-approved manufacturers, not just one. Without the pressure sales of buy this window today. We'll provide an educating consultation, not a sales pitch, then pinpoint the best option no matter who the manufacturer is. Don't fall for the pressure sale and don't limit your options. Let the consultants at Kohler Homes of Jacksonville help you choose the right manufacturer. Kohler Homes, the right choice.
If you're a man over 45, have frequent urination, an urgent need to go, a weak flow, or waking at night to urinate, it's time to consider UroLift. This is Dr. West, urologist with McKeever Clinic. UroLift is a non-invasive outpatient procedure with minimal downtime. If you suffer from an enlarged prostate and want to avoid the sexual side effects of medication and invasive surgery, UroLift may be for you. Contact McKeever Clinic at 355-6583. That's 355-6583.
AJ Fernandez is one of the most sought-after cigar brands in the country. This Saturday at Tobacco Cove, you can sample the passion, discipline, and great tobacco of his famous cigars. His cigars have been named Cigar of the Year and consistently achieve ratings of 90 and above. A variety of his blends will be available to try and enjoy. From 1 to 4 p.m., join us at Tobacco Cove for an event you don't want to miss. Tobacco Cove is located at Bay Meadows Road and San Jose Boulevard. It's more than a smoke shop. It's an experience.
Writing with your insurance company regarding fire, water damage, or a business interruption claim? Alice Robinson here with Floridian Public Adjusters. We fight to get you what you deserve. Go to callalice.com. That's callalice.com. No recovery, no fee.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist presents Dr. Chris Swanson on the Sports Den. A board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, Dr. Swanson has been assistant team physician for the Cincinnati Bengals and Drexel University men's basketball and is the current team physician for several area high schools. Visit se-ortho.com.
The Sports Den's Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist joins us every Monday night. Joins us tonight as well. Doc, how you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good hard day's work today?
Yeah, it was tough today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many surgeries?
Nah, we played the beaches, boys and girls.
Yeah, I knew that. I just wanted you to admit that.
There was a 10-ton van out there, a little Sprinter van out there. Somebody was doing a show, it looked like. Live.
Frangie show?
Yeah, live.
Yeah, I don't
looking for you guys.
I don't care about Frangie. If you were looking for us, then maybe you should have invited us. Is where I'm getting to with this, Doc. If I'm supposed to be an ambassador for Southeast Orthopedic, how am I not invited to play golf on a beautiful day?
I was worried about James' swing.
Oh, I didn't say anything about James.
Yeah, I wasn't. My back is still out of, we're still working on me.
Doc, you know where we're going with the injury question right away. How much research have you done into Gardner's thumb?
I've done a fair amount of research. It doesn't sound like it's that bad.
Okay, what does that mean? Like, tell me how do you tell me a bad thumb as opposed to not a bad thumb?
I would say the worst is you have to cut it off.
Right.
The least is like a Band-Aid. So where are we at?
Interesting. I mean, are we trying to get Trevor Lawrence or where are we heading on this?
Well, when would you be comfortable like seeing him play again?
Well, I mean, so the interesting part is it sounds like this has been an ongoing thing. It doesn't sound like this is even like just a last week thing. It sounds like this started in kind of early October.
3 weeks ago, they said. About 3 or 4 weeks ago.
So that in and of itself means that it wasn't really a tremendously bad injury to the thumb. Now, it still is the thumb on your throwing hand for a quarterback. And so, I mean, certainly that to some extent is going to affect your ability to.
But didn't they say there were multiple fractures?
Yeah, the reports have said multiple fractures plus some, ligament type of issues as well. But I've heard it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I'm going by just Doc's. I can't see you, so not your body language, but your voice language. That you're calling BS on some of this.
No, not BS. Just I think if you just
Maybe
start
he
putting-
used this as a be like, hey, that's why I've been playing not great.
Well, I mean, I just think if you put these pieces together, you're like, okay, so for 3 weeks, I've had fractures in my thumb, but I've still been able to play. If they were bad as a quarterback, you'd be out.
So
so Drew Brees tore a ligament in his thumb I think it was last year. Either last year or the year before.
It was last year, yeah.
Yeah, because the Jags had to play Bridgewater.
That's when Teddy Bridgewater took over.
Beat the Jags.
He was out for 5 or 6 weeks. And so, he's continued to play through this, which implies that it's not substantial.
So you can't say what it is or what it isn't because that wouldn't be ethical. But what he can do is say, when stuff don't add up, you start subtracting to where we can say it because Doc didn't say it. We're saying it. Got that, JJ? We don't want to get Doc would never.
I'm a little confused.
Doc would
That
never
was really
imply. Doc would never imply that there was a fake injury.
I got you. So just let me do that.
But he's saying that it's cool for the sports den to imply, not Denny because Denny can't.
No, I'm the Garner hater.
We're gonna go with
show.
JJ.
Yeah.
We're gonna just put
I'll
everything
fall
on
the
JJ.
sword.
Yeah. I think that ship is already sailed. I'll tell you about that at the break. But
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Doc, now let me play devil's advocate with you here though.
Sure.
Because I've had quarterbacks. The reason why I brought them multiple fractures, does that mean anything? Like when you hear that, does that make you go, oh, this is fairly severe? Because I've had quarterbacks that have played with like ligament issues, but I've not had a quarterback that's even been able to grip a football with fractures.
Right. So that's, if you look at the headline, you're like, there's no way he can be playing. But then when you read into more detail, you're like, wait, he's been playing for 3 weeks with, quote, multiple fractures. I mean,
so there's a lot of things that we come on here and we ask you, can they play with this? And you say, well, it depends on pain tolerance. Would this be one of those things, or would it just be physically almost impossible to hold a football with a fractured thumb?
well, I mean, to me, if you just say, can you be an NFL quarterback throwing a football with multiple fractures on your throwing hand? I would say no. Then if you say, wait, I've been doing it for 3 weeks and now the story's just coming out that I have multiple fractures. Well, I mean, those fractures are halfway to healed at this point. Like, they were 3 weeks into the healing process.
I see what you're saying.
They must not have been that bad, or you would absolutely be out. I mean, I would say normally that if you have multiple fractures on your throwing thumb, you probably can't grip a football. You probably can't play. But you also can't then go revisionist history and say, okay, 3 weeks later, you can't have.
No, that makes sense. Well, so then that gives me 2 more questions to ask you then. Can there be different degrees of fractures in a thumb? Like
yes,
are all fractures equal or no?
No, all fractures are not equal. And so certainly if it was there are certainly bad enough fractures of your thumb that would put you out immediately and would put you out for the season. This is obviously not that case if he's been able to play for 3 weeks and is still, at least theoretically, I think has a chance to play next week. That's obviously not that bad of a fracture. So yes, there are degrees of severity of fracture, and this has to be on the mild end.
Okay, so let's hypothetically say that I have a fracture and I continue to play. Does it heal, or is me using it over and over again preventing that from healing?
Yeah, so all fractures heal. It takes 8 to 12 weeks for any bone to heal, regardless of kind of where it is on your body. So all fractures are going to heal. Can you make it worse by continuing to play, by continuing to have trauma, by landing on it wrong, by hitting on somebody's helmet? Yes, but all fractures are going to continue to work through that healing process.
Man, you said 8 to 12 weeks, so he's done
to heal completely.
So what? Okay.
So Gardner's done. IR.
If it's multiple fractures, you're saying there's no way he can come back in a couple weeks.
But again, supposedly he's been playing with it for 3 weeks.
Yeah. No. I'm saying if we were coming to you and I said, "Hey Doc, listen, I had a quarterback in somewhere that there's not a Southeast orthopedic, and so he went and got an X-ray and he's got multiple fractures in his thumb. How long should he be out for? Do you think? You would tell me 8 to 12 weeks.
I would say, if there are bad fractures on his throwing thumb, it'd be a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
But again, if you're talking about sort of just a really minor injury, then it might not be that long.
So this is something that
it still seems hard to play through any kind of fracture on your throwing thumb. But
listen, I'll be completely honest. Like I have had thumb strains or thumb jams or something like that many times.
Even if you just jammed your thumb,
it's very hard to throw a football.
It can be really hard to throw a football, right? Just jamming your thumb can be really hard to throw a football. So any kind of mild ligament injury, mild fracture, I mean, to me, it seems like it'd be really hard to throw a football.
Huh.
To be fair, this is a guy who's smashed his hand with a hammer before.
Yeah, I did see those stories too. It seems like maybe he's used to this from his college days.
Is that frowned
Can
upon
he
in the
even
medical
feel
community?
his hand anymore? Is that a possibility? He hasn't been able to feel in years.
It's like that movie. What was that movie, Mr. Deeds? You remember that?
Oh my
With the foot?
god! Yeah, so nasty. It's just black.
Did you see Mr. Deeds, Doc?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we were all
It's
on the
not
same
the
page.
best Sandler movie, but it's certainly not the worst.
It's not bad. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Probably not top 10 though.
No.
So up in Georgia, their best player, Richard LeCount, was in an accident when he came back from the Kentucky game. He was on a dirt bike and was in an accident. I don't know if you saw this, Doc. And they're not releasing all the details, as they probably shouldn't. This wasn't a football injury. But the word concussion has been thrown around. And it got me thinking, I know there's severe concussion. We've talked about, a concussion is a concussion. And they say mild concussion, well, all that kind of stuff. But if you're in like a legitimate motorcycle accident, is that a different type of concussion than what you may sustain on a football field? And if so, are you out longer?
No, same type of concussion, like you just said. I mean, a concussion's a concussion. Hopefully, you had a helmet on. But head injury is a head injury, and it requires the same amount of treatment.
They said the helmet saved him.
Whether you do it on the football field or whether you do it on a motorcycle or dirt bike, I mean, it's the same type of treatment.
Yeah, Kirby Smart told reporters that LeCount had been moved from the ICU to a normal hospital room.
So the ICU, the ICU implies a substantial, severe injury.
Yeah, it occurred at 6:50 Saturday. And what does this tell you when it says LeCount was unresponsive when police arrived at the scene?
Ooh.
That implies that it's severe. I mean, really severe.
Yeah.
So, loss of consciousness is one of the signs of a severe head injury. And, if he was still unresponsive, unconscious by the time the police got there, which, was some amount of time after whatever accident happened, 5, 10, 15 minutes, or who knows? I mean, that implies that it was a pretty substantial injury.
It says he sustained a concussion, a shoulder injury, some bruised ribs, and some scrapes and bruises. But that, Doc,
lucky.
Hold on, I'm not a doctor, but does the way that's worded, does that validate ICU?
Yeah, it must have been a bad head injury. I mean, bruised ribs don't put you in the ICU. Certainly, shoulder injury doesn't put you in the ICU. The ICU part has to be the head injury part and the loss of consciousness.
Is that to make sure they don't have bleeding on the brain or stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm sure they did a CT scan of his head to make sure that there wasn't a brain bleed. And then, so if he was unconscious at the time the police arrived. Who knows when he regained consciousness? It could have been a couple minutes later. It could have been half hour later. I mean,
Did you hear about the FAU kid today? Or not FAU, he doesn't coach there anymore. The Mississippi kid. Apparently had a neck injury.
Oh, yeah.
Was unconscious on the field for a while. They had to airlift him to a hospital, and last I heard, he was moving.
He was?
Yeah.
Because I had heard earlier he wasn't. Okay. Yeah. No, I hadn't seen an update on that, but I know they said Kiffin was shaking up pretty bad about that. Like, man,
I didn't even know they hit in practice like that.
yeah, I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, airlifted from the practice
To the
field.
hospital. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Freshman tight end DeMarcus Thomas said he sustained a serious injury during practice Monday that initially left him without any feeling in the body. Hey, last thing, then we'll let you go. Talk us through that. So we see that a lot where we hear, okay, he wasn't able to move, he didn't have any feeling, and then, a couple hours later he is able to move. What happens in that couple of hours?
What you're worried about is with any kind of neck injury like that is it affects the spinal cord. And that's the scary thing with a neck injury. So that's why you always err on the side of caution. You stabilize the neck immediately. And you can have an insult or a trauma to either your nerves or to the spinal cord that over a short period of time can resolve on its own if it's just a contusion or a sort of a bruise to that area. But you always got to err on the side of caution and be overprotective, because if you don't, there's a chance it can be something worse. And, in the kind of course of football, there's been 5 or 10 famous times where people have ended up paralyzed. And, that's kind of what you're always worried about.
So there's scenarios where, or not scenarios, it actually happens to where we could see a football player laying motionless on a field, and then 2 hours later, he's perfectly fine.
Yes. I mean, sometimes, somebody's motionless on the field, and by the time they even make it to the ambulance, they're moving their arms again, they're giving the thumbs up. And so there can be that sort of immediate sort of bruise contusion scenario where somebody may be laying motionless or have an inability to move their arms or legs, and then within even a minute or two, they kind of regain the ability to do that.
Is there something that you guys see? And I know y'all always take, the more precautious route, but is there something that you guys see when you guys first get out there that makes you maybe feel better about that? Or is it a waiting game for the doctors as well to see how serious it is?
No, I mean, it's a waiting game. And so if somebody's really motionless on the field, then you kind of immediately go into that sort of emergency response where you're trying to just be super cautious. You bring out the board, stabilize the neck, keep the helmet on. You do everything to just be over the top cautious in the hopes that over the next minute or two, things are going to head in the right direction. And then arms start moving, thumbs up, and you're like, okay, everybody takes a sort of a deep breath and you're kind of encouraged, but you always are absolutely erring on the side of caution. And that's when you go into the mode of trying to protect everything as much as possible.
That is Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Dr. Swanson's specialty is knees and shoulders. If you've got bad knee or bad shoulder, some pain, or had lingering pain or something like that, make sure you get to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and go see Dr. Swanson. Get that taken care of. You don't need to limp around your whole life. You don't need to complain about your shoulder. Go get it fixed. Upgrade your quality of life. You can go to se-ortho.com or give them a call at 904-634-0640. If you're an athlete and something happens this week to you, is this the final Bumps and Bruise clinic this week?
Yes, sir. This is the last week of Bumps and Bruises. This is the end of the regular season for high school football. So this is our last week of the Bumps and Bruises clinic. If you're injured, come on and see us on Saturday morning. Get ready for the playoff, and we'll get you back on the field.
Dr. Swanson will be at the Brooks YMCA at 9 o'clock. Is that right?
Yep, 9 to 10 at the Brooks YMCA Gate Parkway.
There you go. Doc, we appreciate you as always. And make sure I get that invite next time you go play in a golf tournament.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace, Doc.
All right. Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Hayes Carline takes you behind enemy lines each week during the 1010XL Kickoff Show.
Great job, baby.
Trends to watch, key matchups, impact players to know from across the line of scrimmage. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. 5 hours before kickoff.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful,
Who put this banana in the toaster?
you did?
Cool. Okay. Just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Lou here for Shinatri Chiropractic. You know, I had neck surgery. I have back pain, going there all the time for adjustments. Even fell down coming out of the shower, injured my tailbone. Picks me up wonderfully. They're the official chiropractor for JU Athletics. Effective diagnosis and treatment on the lower back or neck pain. If chiropractic adjusting isn't for you, they have acupuncture and dry needling for your pain and tension. What a friendly staff as well. Call them 743-6700 at 2711 University Boulevard.
Cigar City Brewing, Florida's premier craft brewery, delivers vibrant tropical flavor with high-low IPA, a citrus-forward craft beer inspired by the bold tangerine, mango, and clementine qualities of High-Low IPA. At 4% ABV and 120 calories, High-Low IPA delivers highs in flavor and lows where you'd want them. Check out cigarcitybrewing.com for more information on this Florida original. Cigar City Brewing, Tampa, Florida. Please enjoy responsibly.
I was on the go. It was time to eat. I said, baby, where my Danny? Cause they can't be beat. She got something else when it was time to choose. And after just one bite, I got the soggy sandwich blues. Should've known better, only Danny will do. Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah, she done me wrong. Didn't get my Danny. I need my ham and cheese. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. Should've known better, only Danny will do. Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 2nd, 2016, Chicago Cubs defeated the Cleveland Indians 4-3 in the World Series, capturing the team's first title in over a century.
Attention all heavy equipment operators, Duck Duck Rooter is hiring. If you can drive a skid steer better than Earnhardt drives a race car, then we want to meet you. Experience is required and we will be testing you. Ready to work? Then give Duck Duck Rooter a ring and we'll schedule a time to meet. Call 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. And let them know you're applying for the heavy equipment operator position.
The Florida Theater is back and rocking with 38 Special. Hit after hit after hit. 38 Special. December 10th at Florida Theater. 50% capacity. Seats are limited, so get them fast. 38 Special. Tickets on sale now. Call the box office or at floridatheater.com.
Contractors, need concrete demoed and hauled off? Get that concrete the plunk out of there. Call Plunk's Concrete Recycling and Demo. We want to recycle that clean concrete and have a storage yard to take it on. Need a pump truck or concrete can? We rent them. Now hiring equipment operators and construction superintendents. Plunk's Concrete Recycling and Demo, 924-0006. Or online at CustomConcreteJacks.com. That's CustomConcreteJacks.com. Get that concrete the plunk out of there.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Yeah, I didn't really watch that Philly-Dallas game last night. Did y'all?
I had money on it, so I forced myself to. And
did you win?
Yeah, but I had to wait till the very last play because Dallas almost scored a garbage time touchdown that would have boned me. But fortunately, I got the win. And
Was the Dallas
it was
quarterback-
one of the worst NFL games I've ever seen.
Was the Dallas quarterback really that bad?
Danucci?
Yeah.
Terrible, bro.
Really?
Yeah. He's a rookie. He didn't even play Division 1A.
Yeah.
Man,
He was like Delaware or something like that.
That's one of Quincy's guys.
Yeah.
Or James Madison. They won the national title.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because I've never seen the guy. I mean, I've seen him, but I've never seen him play.
Probably never see him again.
Really that bad, huh?
To be fair to him, the Cowboys suck, dude. And he did keep them in the game for a little while, but they didn't even score a touchdown, man. They were like keeping the ball for as long as possible. And Wentz stinks, man. That guy's got to go. Like that whole 2017 season, it was a one-off. It was like the Jags 2017 season.
Oh, dear. I'm looking at the stats now.
He sucked,
Danucci
man.
really went 21 for 40 for only 180?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they kicked 3 field goals. And the only reason that the Cowboys, the Eagles covered the spread was because, like, late in the game when the Cowboys were going down to drive to try to get the winning score, it was one of the craziest fumbles you'll ever see, where, like, guys fall on the ground with it, an offensive guy and a defensive lineman together.
that highlight.
The ball pops out, and somebody accidentally kicked it, like, 12 yards back, and they picked it up and scored for me to cover the spread. It was crazy. It was crazy. But, yeah, terrible game.
Well, answer me one more question because...
Oh, by the way, Zeke's backup, this is why you don't pay a running back. Zeke's backup looked better than Zeke.
That's a Pollard guy?
Yes.
Answer me this question. Tell me the Philadelphia kicking situation, because let me tell you what happened. My kicker was on bye, and I just was like, all right, I'm going to pick up a kicker. I'm going to pick up Philly's kicker. How did they have 23 points and he only had 1 point in fantasy?
Because they got a safety, and then they went for 2. It sucks when that happens to you, man. Because if you would have had the Dallas kicker, he had like a 50-yarder, a 60-yarder, a 40-yarder. Like you would have had like 20 points.
I kept seeing this
Kickers
Eagles
in fantasy
score,
are stupid.
and I'm like, why does my kicker only have 1 point? But I thought maybe he got benched or something.
No, but Carson Wentz needs to be benched. What's the kid's name from Alabama?
Jalen Hurts.
Like, why can't
I'm
he
into
just-
that.
Why won't they give him a chance?
It's because
They
they
just
are
paid
leading the
Carson.
division.
Didn't they just pay Carson Wentz?
No.
They didn't?
Maybe. Let me look.
I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz got a fat new deal.
That was a mistake. Yeah, 4 years, 128 mil.
Yeah. Yeah, for those counting at home, that's over 30 a year.
Yep.
Mm.
That was a mistake.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't watch that game. I was pretty much footballed out at that
What did
point.
you guys watch yesterday? Because you didn't have to watch the Jags. Are you just like a one game at a time?
No, I watched Red
or
Zone.
Take the week off? Okay, Red Zone.
Yeah, I watched.
No, I like that.
Yeah, he didn't watch any football at all.
I didn't watch any
He didn't
It
watch
was
college.
a bad weekend Saturday and Sunday.
See, Saturday to me, well, I guess that
Bad
was,
games.
Yeah, they were
Blowouts.
I saw what I needed to see.
Texas game was good.
This is the beauty of social media.
Clemson game was good.
The beautiful thing about social media is you can actually get a gist of what happened with any game if you follow the right people.
Sort of. I mean, you get their talking points, which I don't like.
Well, that's true, but like I can get video.
Yeah.
I follow
Yes.
so I don't follow like just the same type of person. I follow their Gator homers. They're people who hate the Gators. And you know what they're both doing? Watching the game. So I can read between the lines and okay, down the middle. And I'm talking to people like I've watched it, but I'm like, no, I didn't watch once. The only thing I watched
I didn't watch that game.
over and
Saw the
over
brawl.
again was the brawl. And it brought me so much joy because it was so funny. And what you will find is there were like, shout out to my dog, Big Shannon Snell, former Gator offensive lineman.
He's a friend of XL Primetime, Sonny's owner.
I gotta tell him, no hate to them, but we like Sonny's too. Like we can.
Of course.
I told you about the time he brought me something to my house, right?
He just dropped it off.
It made me mad because he dropped it off, and that wasn't Sonny's, dog. Like what he made,
special Sonny's,
was amazing. Like
that was a platinum.
They keep it in the back.
Like I'm only going to
the
his
bag.
Sonny's. Like there's no knock on other Sonny's, but I've eaten Sonny's before.
You have to say a special word.
That was good. Like that was not saying Sonny's bad. That was amazing. But anyways, my dog Shannon was like, "Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to defend your team." I'm like, they wasn't defending nothing. They gave a valiant effort. They ran into the fray, but got knocked out of the fray.
Oh,
like you just.
Well, that's not accurate.
Well, it's two of the guys.
So you're saying Florida lost the fight?
The guys who got suspended lost the fight. There were some guys. There wasn't really a lot of really. There were the people who were getting active got suspended, and the active people, for Florida wasn't really
the freshmen.
Yeah, they're young, and then he brought
By the way,
this to
Ant
my
got a
attention.
run.
They were young.
Ant got run.
He did.
Yeah, Anthony had 5 or 6 snaps early.
How did he do?
He looked really good, other than the
You
fumble.
just took that deep breath, like.
Yeah, other than the fumble.
Oh, okay.
Like
What happened to the other guy? He got COVID.
They didn't bring him in until the very, very end. It's almost like Anthony's the number 2 now.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, he looked really good. They brought him in on a.
That was his first action?
Yeah, 2nd and 9, and he got 8, and then they jumped off sides. So they brought Trask.
He drew them off sides.
No, he drew his own team.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then they brought Trask back in. But I also understand the Florida fan that's like, why are we taking Trask out of a game?
That's his thing. Mullen does that.
Yeah, I do understand that issue as well. That Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, did y'all watch any of that?
Yes.
I watched my fantasy.
I watched the pretenders that are the Baltimore Ravens. They're
Bro.
flat track bullies. They beat the brakes off anybody who sucks and anybody who's worth a damn they lose to. And Lamar Jackson, man.
You know what his downside? You know what started this?
He can't throw.
The NFL skills competition. That's when Lamar Jackson realized.
Mentally, it broke him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He realized, I'm different than these guys.
Yeah, something's off here. Like they do things a little bit better than I do.
This is hard for me.
I will say this: that touchdown run that got called back because of a holding late in the game was insane.
Oh, he's amazing, but you can't go out there in a big game and have a 12.5 QBR. That's not how this works.
It's typically frowned upon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's really good.
13 for 28.
They're just a regular season team. That's all they're going to be. And then meanwhile, you see Patty Mahomes. Yeah. I know it's just the Jets, but I mean, come on. That was ridiculous what he was doing.
So somebody educate me with that game. Did they, because it was the Jets,
they covered.
Did they play my man? Because Clyde wasn't getting the points that I needed.
No, Bell, he got like 6 carries for 7 yards or something.
That's too many. It's too many.
But yeah, Clyde didn't do much.
He needs to go off and make another rap video.
Yeah, like I don't need him getting 6 carries unless it's like mop up time. Like,
That's
I need
5 too many.
Yeah, like I mean, we get those extra 5 to my guy, and he's
Touchdowns.
averaging like 4 yards a carry.
When your quarterback goes 31 of 42 for 416 and 5 touchdowns,
you know what the worst thing, and that I know because I have him in our league,
people.
in our sportsden league. The worst thing is when you don't get the same players in each one of your leagues.
Yeah.
And you got to go up against your quarterback.
Yeah, that you have in one league and you're playing
and you got to pick which league you care about more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tough position.
You know how I always was told like who your favorite team is, and this could go into the fantasy realm as well. But the team, because am I a Brave or a Hurricane? Like which one do I really care about? It's when that team loses, who hurts you the most when that team loses. Not necessarily how hype are you when they win, but like if the Braves lose, how do you feel? If the Canes lose, how do you feel?
I don't feel like that's accurate because I feel like your teams have to be good because I don't know that any Jag fan is hurt right now anymore. I think they're just numb.
See, I've never been a fan of a team that bad. Maybe
they
you're
used
right.
to be in a toxic relationship. Like sometimes you just accept it.
Which is dangerous.
This is what it is. It's never going to get any better. You start to feel like you don't deserve better.
Because
that's what a Jag fan is.
I'm a Saints fan and a Jags fan. And I will tell you, like, the losses in 17 hurt worse with the Jags You know what, though? Now that I say that, there's not a loss anymore that even hurts at all for me with any of my teams. I just don't take it that seriously
I guess
anymore.
the NFL is different because, especially when you're at this point with the Jags, you want to lose. Like, if you win, that would be
the Giants
heartbreaking.
are winning right now.
I'm watching it. I have the Giants plus 11.
Yeah, the Giants are up 7-3.
And
It
this
was a fumble. It was a fumble by the.
But they're driving.
Yeah, Ronald Jones fumble.
They're driving.
By the way, this is a. We've always been a pro Daniel Jones show here.
Well, he's fighting for his job right now.
What? Man, he's looked good.
Man, if they pick number 1 or number 2, he'll be out in a
they're
heartbeat.
not that bad. There's no way that they're as bad as the Jets or the Jags.
I mean, right now they've got the 2nd pick.
Right now,
they also have an opportunity to make the playoffs,
and they get to play Dallas.
Well, that's not really true anymore because
no, if they win tonight, they're only like a game back.
How?
That is the worst division of
because Philly only has 3 wins.
But don't they have a tie too?
That's true. So I guess 2.5 games.
Yeah, because Philly's they're 3-4-1. So I mean, they win one more game, they're at 500. And in
Which
that
is crazy.
division, yeah, they could. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get to 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock coming up next.
Catch high school football play-by-play on 1010XL.
The Bishop Kenny Crusaders finish their regular season at home against University Christian Thursday night at 7. Catch the call on 92.5 FM.
Are you a small business working many hours but not making a profit? Are you struggling with the challenges of the pandemic and don't know how to bring your company back? This is...
Except you might just fall on his face.
Yeah. I'd rather have him do daycare on my fantasy.
Watch out. Just be careful what you guys are saying.
I'm done.
You would rather have who? Than Baker? Of course. Baker.
Brian Clark.
Remember last week,
and somebody
everybody's
got in
like,
trouble.
yo, Baker's stats with Odell off the field are so much better. That didn't exactly happen.
People are already starting to worry about Josh Allen.
Oh, because of a couple games? Yeah. Jags Josh Allen, they need to worry about his ass, too.
He's still QB4.
Dude, it feels like we have been here for 8 hours.
You know what we should talk about?
Please tell me.
The new playoff proposal. They're trying to change in season to put 16 teams in the playoffs this year.
What are you talking about?
In the NFL.
Really?
Just came out.
Well, I'm down.
Are you?
Dude, I'm always down for more football. I'm the wrong person to ask. Give me 20 more bowls.
Oh, dude, you gotta look up faster than that. That's a touchdown. We have to predict the election. Absolutely have to.
I don't disagree, but I'm scared.
We don't have to be political. We just have to say who we think's gonna win. And when the Civil War officially starts. Where will the first battle of Civil War II
Let me tell you something. One of the best things that could happen to this country would be all these Civil War
We need to break apart, bro.
Yes, have all these Civil War people, the 10% idiots on both sides, just meet up in North Dakota and go at it. And I hope there are 0 survivors.
That's too far on the drive. We need to break up. We need to just break up. Yeah, my brother just bought like his 4th AR-15. He sent me a picture on Saturday.
For the Civil War?
No, I mean he had 3 already, but he bought a brand new rifle on Saturday and sent me a picture. And he's like, "This is from when Biden packs the courts," all right? Because like I guarantee he's gonna try to ban AR.
It is pretty cold, man. This place is so let me show you. This place is backwards, man.
Damn, my PR won't take you.
No. It's just literally when I want to go piss. Unless y'all just
Dude,
said.
you gotta tell
I
us.
said.
No,
JJ,
you did.
What did you say? What was said? And how?
I don't even know what happened.
Like when you were in there, we're just talking about. These had this thing on the whole time.
Oh, we didn't say anything.
Just doing the
We
break,
were
just
talking
doing
about
this
the
break.
Civil
That's because it was on 5%. Like when I literally just went to go to the bathroom.
We got to have a hand signal.
We do. That's
I
true.
said, JJ, when they were talking about how trash somebody was, I was like, hey, man, just be careful what y'all say. Oh, you were talking about the sorry-ass kid from the Browns. The quarterback.
No, we need like a light or something.
Yeah, I agree. Or
Yeah.
clap.
You gonna go out like that? Who was the baseball guy?
Yeah.
Capital.
Just want everybody to know that's not how I feel.
Yeah.
We're here talking about the Civil War. We're here talking about the Civil War that could happen.
That's they got National Guard.
I've been here talking about I want the 10% on each side to go kill each other.
Yeah. But we didn't say anything political, so it's fine.
I just almost don't want to exist for just like a week after.
You kind of actually think what I'm doing is the best thing ever.
What?
Being Orlando.
Oh, well,
I ended up saying bump.
oh, that's right.
Just say.
Man, I was sitting on the porch the other night. A little kid comes by. He's walking around. He's like, 2020, 2020, 2020, all the way down the street. And then the mom's like, yeah, 2020. And I said, Biden 2020. And he was like, oh, but we want Trump 2020, don't we, Mom? And he's like, yeah, she wants. I want that. I was like, is this a commercial?
I remember this.
Am I living there? What the hell is going on? They're walking down the street having this loud ass conversation.
There was a lady about to set trip for our neighbors though.
Here we go.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was wild. Oh. I gotta let it breathe. I almost forgot. It's not that I forgot that we have 8 o'clock. I just that I like to bring in the sponsor for 8 o'clock. That's Alcavita Alkaline Water. As you notice, we have excellent product placement. If you're wondering what this water is, this refreshing beverage is Alcavita Alkaline Water. And what was the water that they were letting the Jags bring in? 16.8,
16.9.
This is at least double that.
No, 16.9.
Oh,
I think that's what it is, yeah. And then I have my gallon jug here that I drink to make sure that I'm all refreshed and replenished, especially when you spend an entire day or week hating or being angry. This helps cleanse it. It helps cool it all.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. Or at least it helps you steam so that it can come out.
Because it seems like your instigator troll level on social media is at an all-time high.
I don't know what you're referring to. It was just more so I was just like, I saw Coach catch the Holy Ghost. I saw him get baptized, in front of people, and just, and then shout out to my man Juice. We need to get you some of this so you can calm down a little bit. Chauncey, you drink regular ass tap water. Like, you can't get the good Alcavita alkaline water. So don't go to Alcavita, ALKAVITA.life. Everybody else, make sure you go there. They ship anywhere in the continental United States. In Jacksonville, there are multiple locations that you can go around and make sure you get this stuff. Hey, it's getting a lot of buzz though.
Yep.
They're doing the one thing that we all want sponsors to do: have increased in sales. So thank you guys for checking them out. Alcavita.life, Alcavita Alkaline Water.
May want to get some Alcavita alkaline water right next to you and as a buffer tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So.
My 8 o'clock is quick. It's James for what he just pulled during the break.
Facts.
Yes, I'm
Facts. That's fair. That's a fair one.
So we're live on Facebook or whatever, and it's usually just the commercials that they can hear.
We plug the audio in usually. Yes.
But he had to charge it, so I guess he didn't do that. And the way he let us know wasn't great. So he thought we knew that we were on mic, but we didn't know. Fortunately, we didn't say anything off the wall.
Right.
Just that we want a certain amount of the population to fight in the Civil War. South Dakota and kill themselves. But we didn't take a side. We didn't take a side. We just said if there's going to be a Civil War, let it just be the fringe people.
Yeah,
fight it out.
Yeah, go fight it out somewhere. Yeah. Do y'all have 8 o'clocks other than that, other than James?
I'm hating on James too.
You're hating on James as well?
No, I'm just saying that's worth it.
My 8 o'clock's the weather. I hate it.
We already did 11 o'clock for the weather earlier. You weren't here yet.
Hard disagree.
What do you hate about this weather?
The coldness and the wind.
So you'd rather be 90?
Oh, in a second.
Really?
I hate it.
I'm reading this report that you were talking about, JJ, about Chris Mortensen of ESPN is reporting that the league could have a 16-team playoff tournament. 8 teams from each conference would make the postseason with 4 division champions and 4 wildcard teams each conference. Now, this is only a resolution to the NFL owners for an expanded postseason if regular season games are lost to COVID-19.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. So it essentially would, really the way to look at this would be similar to like the bubble where teams didn't get invited. Right?
The NBA bubble.
Right,
Yes.
the NBA bubble
If you're
where,
a certain crappiness level, you're not allowed.
which takes me to this. The NBA is weird right now because you have teams that literally just finished, and then you have teams that haven't played since March, 12th? Think about that.
Half their teams almost. And some good ones like that are going to be big next year, like Golden State and the Nets.
Jeez. So when do you start the season?
They're starting the 22nd of December.
Right, and but my point is like you can't be right on that because you're going to have teams that are like, man, that's way too soon.
Right.
And then, like JJ said, you got some decent teams like Kevin Durant coming with the Nets and
Kyrie.
It's a lot of
like they haven't played in they will have not played in 9 months, almost 10.
They said they need to play a 70-game season because of the local television rights, like the Sun Sports with the Magic and all those deals. They have to get 70 games in, or else they're losing like $1 billion. So they're not going to have fans.
Again?
Yep. I'm assuming like certain areas they will, like the.
But they're not doing the bubble though, right?
No. What they're doing is like, so let's say you're the Nets and you play in LA only like a couple times a year. Well, you're going to play all those games in a week. You're just going to fly to LA. You're going to play all.
Like
your
what
games.
baseball does.
Yeah, exactly. All
They
your
should
players.
do that every
I think that makes sense.
That might be something that sticks.
Yeah, it should be.
Save money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, like, why not? I mean, I know why you don't, right? Because the players wouldn't want to do it, but why not just do the bubble again for the first half?
And then see where it goes?
Yeah. Because if you're not allowing fans, I mean, what does it matter if you're playing in New York or LA or, you know what I mean?
I think they just kind of want to take steps towards normalcy.
I think the best way to do that is to follow the rules that are, have the foundation be the rules that are allowed in your state or
Exactly.
your
Like
municipality.
in Orlando, you should be able to have fans.
At least
Miami,
10%, yeah, or whatever.
I don't know if they won't do that. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying in general they're going to be playing in their home arenas.
Because the way you can also set it up, even though if you've ever sat courtside, it's a lot of fun. But you can set it up to where, you bump back. Like you don't let people kind of have the first 10 rows, so you can still keep the fans away.
No, you're right. I didn't even think about that. When JJ said no fans, I just thought that was a league-wide thing. But you're right. If you're in a state that says, hey, you can have them, then.
Yeah, I'm assuming like Florida, I know is cool. Oklahoma, I'm assuming is cool. There's less so in the NBA. Yeah. And also, I don't know if there's different regulations because it's inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have another hate o'clock. James, do you have one?
No.
My hate o'clock is a suggestion that JJ made a little while ago. You know what he said? What we should do tonight? He said we absolutely have to give a prediction on who wins the election.
Yes. We don't have to get into politics, but we can just give a prediction of who we think's going to win. It's not that big a deal. What's the difference between picking the Jags versus the Texans?
Well, we know the Jags are going to lose. Everybody's kind of
significant difference there.
Everybody's kind of come to grips with that, and we're okay. Like we're okay with losing because you can suck for all.
I'm okay with either one of them winning tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, the country, the government's still going to take my cash. Whoever's in office.
I wouldn't even begin to know how to predict an election at this point.
I think.
I will tell you this though. I will admit this.
Joe Jordan.
I will be.
Yeah, she's not going to.
I will be dialed in though.
Definitely. I got my snacks ready.
Yes, I'm gonna go to ABC.
Ooh, nice.
I'm gonna get a really good whiskey, and and I'm going to sit my butt on the couch because we're not in here on Thursdays, and I'm going to do exactly what you said, JJ. I'm going to flip around to all the different channels just to hear what they're all saying. I'm sorry, Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
He's already planning.
He's so drunk.
When the Civil War breaks out.
And I will not move.
I got some loud.
That's a great idea, JJ. That might be how I get through.
Because it's so. 2016 was hilarious. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. So you can't pin anything on me. I'm just saying there was a prediction of what was supposed to happen and then what really happened. So you got to see like craziness on these news channels. Everybody had to eat, swallow their words and be like, well, we were completely wrong about all. The pollsters were the best.
So what you're saying is you're watching this to see people's heads explode.
I don't care either way. Like I said, I do care because I have a bet with my brother, but it's only $100, so it's not that big. And this was made like 6 months ago, before COVID and the lockdowns and the riots and everything. So, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just in it for the entertainment. And we're going to get that.
Will you be dialed in tomorrow night?
Honestly, probably not. No. I mean, the amount of not care that I have is pretty good.
And I don't even think it's going to get done tomorrow night either.
Well, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of changing that. I don't not care.
I don't think it will be done. I think no matter what happens, this thing will be drug out.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to the courts or whatever. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, you know what's going to happen on Wednesday?
Nothing.
No, for me, like I've got major bills to pay.
Oh, exactly. Nothing will change in our lives.
We have radio. God,
The MAC starts on Wednesday.
Got to talk to Mark Rogers about Florida State, do my Florida State podcast. So before I do the show here, State Night.
What is it that I like so much about Elections Day? Because as you're saying, I'm thinking about it. You're so right. I will watch.
It is. They do the coverage they do is pretty like, especially when you say the state by state.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I can't believe you won that state. And you're like, oh, there's only point.
But I'll watch like the 2018 elections when there's not anybody that I even know or care about, and I'm still dialed in. I don't
midterms. I'm out.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know why
I care about the governor. The governor races here.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That one was.
But I mean, to be honest with you, like,
is there any?
Like, I've got friends. All right, we're still at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
All right, since we're doing this, and then this is again, JJ, I'm much like you. It's so funny when I make a post on either side when people are like, "Oh, well, you just don't like. I'll drink your liberal tears." I'm like, register Republican. What the hell are you talking about?
It's like you can't even try.
That's like, dude.
Guess my fault.
That's like, dude, you don't know what I believe or not. It's like this. I call stupid, and I call something smart. But damn, I just completely lost my point.
You were mad?
Yeah, quick. What was I mad about? Oh, I'm not friends.
He said, hold on. He said, I call stupid. And I call what was I talking about?
That's what happened. Like, that was
Don't
stupid.
make it forget again.
That was stupid. I've got friends who have never made more than $30,000 a year. Literally arguing about taxes and taxes being raised.
Well, let me
in
tell
New
you,
York City.
That's hilarious.
Like you're like,
as a poor person myself, I hate taxes.
No.
It doesn't matter how much.
But that's not like what I'm saying.
New York is.
It's like that is insane. It's insane now.
Has literally no effect on you, but
literally I'm like, why are you arguing about something? They're like, oh well, this guy's gonna like, but in New York City, yeah, but he's gonna. You have never left Tallahassee, Florida. Like, do you understand the argument?
You don't understand the job offer they're about to get from New York City, James. Obviously.
And bigger than that, it's like you literally never made more than $35,000 a year. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just like why? Day in and day out. So you don't know what a 1099 is. You don't know what. You don't just chill. Relax, like this actually might benefit you. Not telling you who to care about, but what I'm saying is your energy probably should go somewhere else. Like something more important. Why do we suck at Florida State?
I would sort of agree with you, but as someone who lives in Jacksonville, who is like really into foreign policy and like what's going on in all these wars all over the place, it has no effect on me, but it's something I'm very, I care about. So I guess I'm in the same boat as that.
Like,
people care about politics that don't affect them.
No, not that they don't care about politics. Like people have, like you just said, people have their things. I'm not here to argue about those things. What I'm saying is, if you've never made more than $35,000, why do you even care about what somebody who makes $400,000? Because you got to get to that. You have to show $400,000 first and foremost, not just make it. Like you got to be able to, like, why, like, get to that point.
Get in that bracket.
Like get in that bracket, and then, like, so my whole, like, people bashing 50 Cent, I 100% respect 50 Cent's point to that.
What did he say?
He's just like, I don't
turn into 20.
Yeah, I don't care, but I don't want to be like, I don't care, not gonna care who he votes for, who he doesn't. But if he has to show at some point that he makes over $400,000. I get that.
Multiple businesses that make
But
$400,000.
But as we said before, I don't know if we said it on this during the show on the break. Curtis Jackson is broke. 50 Cent is wealthy, and 50 Cent probably doesn't show enough to be able to to make 65, to tax 65%. But that's my only hated clock. Is really, I'm not really aggravated by it, but it's just like guys, like let's pick another thing to overreact and argue about. Like you're not there.
When it comes to this election, like talk about tax codes and whatever, so not even what people are voting on at all. This is a culture election. People are voting on the culture that they like and they don't. I thought we were just There's absolutely no.
See, this is why I didn't want to do this.
No, and here's another hated clock. Damn it! If I can't wait to this thing. Has anybody else getting bombarded with text messages?
Oh my God! For weeks,
dude. I literally just Ben Marcus. I don't know who his guy is.
He wants you though.
But like, I'm not voting for you. I don't know who you are. Leave me alone. Stop texting me.
Election day countdown, all caps. Tomorrow we are going to keep Florida red, but we need your help.
Like it's down to you, JJ.
And then there's many other ones. Blue, red, Ralph here. Voters of faith must let their voices be heard.
Maya.
By the way, I'm not even registered to vote. So like, if I was registered, I couldn't even imagine how many I would.
Hi, I'm Maya with Florida Rights Restoration Coalition.
What?
Tomorrow's election day. I don't know Maya. Do you need a ride?
What? No way.
Hey, you won't respond. What do you look like?
What are you wearing?
You know what are you wearing?
Maya, I may need a ride. I may need a ride. Can you please send a pic?
Like, no, but they're serious. Like, I cussed one person out. They were very professional. Well, I guess we will remove you off of the list now.
No, you won't.
And they won't, because people keep doing it.
Do they just do it from different numbers? I've typed in stop no less than 30 times.
It's just like when you type in stop, it's opposite.
It's more.
They just bombard you with more. I've had the wrong text number. I've had whoever thought that whoever this strategy works on.
I know, right? Yeah. Who are these?
These people should not have the same power in their vote that I do. Like this
What's their percentage?
Like, there is somebody though. There is somebody calling their parents right now. Y'all ain't gonna believe Mike Pence just texted me.
He wants to give me a ride.
I wasn't gonna vote for him, but then Mike Pence recorded called me, and that's what pushed me over. You know what?
Hello, James.
Kamala just texted me.
Maya.
Kamala just texted me, and she seems reasonable.
Is it Kamala?
Kamala.
I thought it was. Well, now I don't even know.
I'm probably gonna get yelled at by my mom.
I thought it was Kamala.
Sure.
It just rolled off the tongue better.
Senator Harris.
Yes. Vice President. Maybe
not. I'm sorry. These fake tax care thing and these people, these random robots.
I'd go with you on the text stuff. For sure.
I haven't got many calls, but just straight texts all day, man. All day. From 352, from 904.
Oh, 885 getting after you on the text line, JJ.
What do you say?
So JJ isn't registered to vote. Well, he's not allowed to have any sort of opinion on politics on air. Tell him to grow up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Shut up. Dude is just so white. Everybody was picking on everybody and having a good time. And then somebody had to come in an adult. Ask us to be
Vote or die. Like, dude, your vote is doing nothing, bro. Sorry.
This
didn't want to hurt your feelings.
You know what though? Well, you know what we should all just do?
Get to the next segment.
Step back, crack open a 16.8 ounce Alkavita alkaline water. It just flush the system out. Alkavita, ALKAVITA.life. Go and order a box or vote or whatever. Like just do something. 2 boxes. Flush it out. Best alkaline water, Jacksonville-based company.
I want to talk odds of making the college football playoff and odds on the Heisman Trophy coming up next.
Where's Mac?
Mac's up there.
He's got to be top 3.
Mac's number
Touchdown!
1. Mac's the odds-on favorite right now, homie.
No way.
Yep.
Over Fields?
Yep.
Well, Fields is behind. And he doesn't have another clutch game, right?
Dude,
Penn State was the game, right?
Michigan sucks so bad, that can't count. By the way,
he's got to be getting fired, right?
John Harbaugh is probably a worse coach than Coach O. I'll give him that. I'll give Coach O that. Dude, the Giants are up 14-3.
But, I mean, somebody else couldn't score the touchdown?
Why you don't like Gallman?
No, I just got beat in fantasy.
People forget he used to be good at Clemson.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Why is Paul Farnbaugh?
Dude, you know, remember?
Does he hate Dan Mullen?
Dabo?
No, Paul Farnbaugh.
Hates Dan Mullen?
Yeah, I'm asking. Because he put that, apparently the announcer of the game said that the whole thing became unraveled when Dan Mullen hit the field. They're trying to pin this on Dan.
Yeah, did you see the guy on Twitter today? He was like, Dan needs to be suspended for this. And I guess he like
back into the J League because I was about to go ahead and clinch a playoff spot.
All I'm trying to do is get top 6. If I can get top 6.
No, dude, if I'd have won today, I would have like clinched the playoffs.
I mean, you're going to get the playoffs now.
Yeah, I'm 6-2.
It's about if you're having the home field advantage like that matters.
what I wanted to tell the texter was your fucking state took away my right to vote fucking 10 years ago, you prick. I just got it back.
I was about to say, I heard it.
Well, they just voted last.
I got that text too. Like, I don't know why I'm getting these texts. James, did you know that you can...
Well, I don't want to be racist, but if you got the felon text, I didn't get that.
I've been getting the
and I
text,
am a felon. And I also didn't get a I need a ride text.
She hasn't responded to my text. Little.
Wait, how do you know I need a ride, bitch?
I can't have no whip.
Did you see me go
Well, I gotta be. Like, hey, you can't have a ride. The 250 makes you know, like, they only give black men the 250 number.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
50% off if you go to the polls. I'm like,
50% off what?
off to get to my job.
50% off what?
A Lyft ride.
Oh,
to go to the
Lyft.
polls. Yeah.
That's actually a decent idea.
Yeah.
Get that garbage the fuck out of here.
Leon just said, since tomorrow's election day, we should do a vote of the best and worst Jags personnel and players. Gene Smith versus Dave Caldwell.
Leon's not trying to get invited back. This is the guy.
Remember when I told you Leon wanted to do the full show from now on? Haven't heard any follow-up.
Why? Well, we're on. That's right. We're can't be talking about station business.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's only 8%, so I can't even cut it out.
Did you listen to the new Busta Rhymes album?
Busta Rhymes has a new album?
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
I gotta come back.
My buddy said it's fire.
Yeah, it is.
That's what he just said.
It is. He got a song with Kendrick that's pretty raw.
He said he's been working on this album for like 10 years.
Is that for real?
No, he was on the 85 South Show podcast talking about it.
He brings back instrumentals from some of his old songs and like redoes it.
But like, I wasn't excited about a Busta Rhymes album. I'm not gonna lie, but everybody's talking about how good it is.
How could you not? It's like the only thing from.
I didn't know it was coming out. Like I just was like,
what did he say? He wasn't excited about a Busta Rhymes album. I'm excited from anybody from my era.
This made me remember we haven't had our song tonight.
yeah, dude, what's up, JJ?
Oh,
I expect this from RJ.
all right, my bad. I didn't know if you might have played it to start the show.
Come on,
You
know
don't know where to find
playing that song. You're better than that, JJ.
RJ about that life, man. You still in the
All right, you gotta give me a second.
Yeah.
He is from LA, gang capital of the world.
So I was looking up the national championship odds after week 9 or after week 8. Clemson still favored. Wait, this is as of 10/26. I want week 9, don't
Yeah, we're in a whole nother month now, but
I? Dang.
That was before they even knew about Trevor not playing.
Yeah, before Clemson almost got beat. Not here we go. Okay. College football playoff odds from 9 hours ago. That's what we're doing. Yes. That's what we're doing. So this is to make it to the college football playoff or to win Natty. So this is to win that. Right now, Clemson's still favored, plus 180. Alabama, plus 225. Ohio State, plus 225. Georgia, plus 1,200. Florida, plus 2,500.
So if I put $1 on Florida, you get like $250.
No, you get $25.
Why they can't just say plus 25 then?
It's weird. Well, no, is it plus 250?
No, it's plus 2,500.
Yeah, so you would get $250.
So you just take the last zero off?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm, okay.
So like if it's plus 200, it's, or no, I'm wrong. If it's plus 200, that's only 2 to 1 odds.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's plus 2,000, 20 to 1, and so forth. So
Okay,
yeah,
so you
it
get
is only
$25. Yeah.
No, especially not for a team that already has 1 loss.
Do y'all find it interesting that Florida and Georgia are significantly higher than Notre Dame? Notre Dame's plus 3,000.
Nobody.
I watched every snap of that game against Georgia Tech, and they shouldn't believe it. Because Georgia Tech was in that game. And you know what game Georgia Tech wasn't in? Clemson. Like, there's a big difference. Now, but, without Trevor, though, I mean, how much does that matter? Do you think
so much.
Clemson still waxes?
Still waxes. The DJ kid, once he got his bearings, he was fine.
No, he's legit. Texas A&M plus 5,000. Wisconsin plus 6,000. Here's what I was getting to. BYU, the team we were talking about earlier, plus 8,000 to make the college football playoffs.
Have you watched them?
Yes.
They have a quarterback who's sneaking up the draft rankings. As a Jaguars fan, maybe we should watch.
Yeah, I've watched him. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He's good. I mean, he's not going to be, I don't think, a top 10 guy, which leads me to what I want to get to. Is could the Jacksonville area have their 3rd Heisman Trophy winner? Mac Jones, and what I saw earlier, is favored right now to win a Heisman Trophy. He is the favorite.
So if you have a kid in this area and you want him to win the Heisman Trophy,
yes,
send him to Bama.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Denny.
Oh, no.
Well, Denny too, but I mean,
No.
But I'm looking at Derek.
I don't need those expectations.
I got one of them. I mean, can I?
Yeah.
Just
You got one too.
Like, just putting out there. I didn't make him. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like, that was
helped Colton.
no. I just one day blew a whistle and told him to run this direction. And like,
But he did.
I did that a few times, and he was already like Bobby Ramsey did a really good job at Yulee. I don't even know why I got the phone call to train him, but like to quote one of my mentors, who I asked for advice on what to do. He said, "Don't mess him up." I said, "Okay."
Like,
Okay,
hey,
so what-
Derek, stiff arm this guy.
So what I'm seeing now is Mac Jones and Justin Fields are tied at plus 150.
Okay.
That's not good enough odds.
And Trevor's plus 200. Then the mid-tier guys, those are the what they call the contenders. The mid-tier guys are the Zach Wilson kid from BYU, plus 3,000. Well, here's one if you want to take a shot on. Devontae Smith, the Alabama receiver. Did y'all see his night the other night?
3 touchdowns.
3?
Did he have more than that?
Why did I think he had 4?
Maybe.
But with the other receiver out,
I'm back now, baby. We're gonna tailor that. You ain't gonna be making 4 touchdowns a game. For the rest, we'll make sure you get 2. But I gotta spread the love around. Make sure I get this trophy.
I mean, no, he had 4. Yeah, he had 4. He had
11 catches for 203.
and most of that was in the first half.
Listen to this. This is the season so far. 6 for 63 and a score. Not great. Respectable. Next game. 13, 164 and a score. 11, 167 and 2 scores. 7 for 73. No score. 11, 203. 4 scores.
Like, when I hear that, he's probably got 15 targets a game. Easy, right? Does it say how many targets he has, or does it just say how many catches?
No, it doesn't.
I'm just gonna assume they got to target him quite a bit. Very few guys are like 95.
Well, remember, Jalen Waddle's down now, so.
Like, you would think D coordinators, I'm not here to tell you how to do your jobs or like really, I know it's very difficult, but I think they're trying to get the ball to him.
He's definitely a part.
Like, he's very much so a factor. Maybe you want to guard that guy.
Well, so he's 50 to 1. Zach Wilson, the BYU quarterback, is 30 to 1. Kyle Trask is 50 to 1.
That's worth a couple bucks.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Like, if he has a big game this week, doesn't he get put up there with Fields and Jones and Lawrence?
It'd have to be Georgia, yes.
Najee Harris is 50 to 1. There's just too many Bama guys.
Did you say that Fields was tied with Mac?
Yeah.
Okay. That's who I like to win.
Who, Fields?
Yeah. But, I mean, he could get COVID.
Travis Etienne?
Just
out of it?
Nah, I mean, he doesn't get enough reps.
He was so pissed when he finally scored that touchdown. He gave a face that was like, see?
But this should be good for him, right? Like, he should be able to, like, they can't use that he has too many carries excuse on him as a back. They got to be like, he's good and fresh when he gets to the league.
That's true. He did have a million catches on Saturday.
Well, then, I mean, the catches aren't the problem. It's the between the tackle rushes.
Constant getting pounded.
No. Yeah. Is there anybody that I didn't say that we would have said before the season started? Like, is there somebody that has just completely fallen out? I guess De'Aaron King, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he's still 100 to 1.
Now, what's going on with him?
It hasn't looked great. I'll say the other game, the weather was so bad that it was almost impossible for any offense to look good.
That the Virginia game?
Yeah, which, by the way, the Virginia looked really good on Saturday.
Oh, Bo Nix. Bo Nix was on this list at one point preseason.
He tried to get himself back on Saturday.
Okay. That's LSU.
Yeah.
How's that top?
Oh, Sam Howell.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Sam Howell was on this list.
Should be. Yeah.
That's a perfect one. Yeah.
I mean, he's lost 2 games, but like, hasn't he put up numbers?
I don't know.
He put up numbers against Florida State.
Yeah, but you know how the Heisman is. It's like a team award.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why I think they still might give it to Trevor just as like a career.
Lifetime achievement, like they did for Mariota.
Exactly.
I'd be okay with that with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, if nobody else pops out with a crazy.
But how did Peyton Manning didn't get one, did he?
No.
If anybody deserved a career achievement award.
Yeah, well, no.
Well, I guess Trevor's won Daddies though.
Was that the returner from Michigan?
Was that Woodson?
He wasn't the best player on this team, but the running back was. Even though don't get me wrong, he was really good. Then they have well, yeah, Ricky was the year Peyton Manning senior year, but wasn't the guy who ended up playing for the Ravens? Tennessee had a really good is it Lewis? Jamal Lewis wasn't he the running back?
Yeah,
he was amazing.
That might have been after that.
The national championship they won with T. Martin the next year.
Charles Woodson won in '97. That was Peyton Manning's year. '97.
Charles Woodson was really good.
Yeah.
And then they won the national championship that year, right? And then they had the split.
Yeah. With I don't remember who. By the way, you'll never be able to. Have you ever heard of Michael Bishop from Kansas State?
Yeah, the quarterback.
Okay. He finished second, '98. To Ricky Williams third. Caden Couch.
He was really good, if I remember correctly, right?
He had to.
Yeah, Bishop. Yeah.
Tim Couch fourth. Dante Culpepper fifth. Sixth from a 1AA school from Ocala, Florida. Dante Culpepper. That UCF was 1AA at the time.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is to go back and look. Like, where did Gardner finish in the Heisman Trophy voting?
Did he finish in the top 10?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So that was 2018?
I think so.
Yeah, because last year was his rookie year. Okay, so it was Kyler, Tua, Dwayne Haskins, Will Grier. Gardner was fifth.
Yeah.
So he almost got to the flight.
Yeah.
Almost. Travis Etienne, that's how old Etienne
Will Grier was fourth?
Yeah, dude.
Is he still playing?
Watch West Virginia.
Yeah, we're right on that one.
Will Grier is playing for the Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
Travis Henry. Somebody, I think that's what I was thinking about.
Jonathan Taylor's on there. He's been a freak for the Indy, by the way. I love that guy.
I always like going back and looking at past Heisman winners just to remember.
Damn, these guys suck.
Yeah, but then you I look at the opposite. It's like, man, I forgot how good that dude
Oh,
was.
in college?
Yeah.
Completely different game. That's all I was telling you. NFL is entertainment. College is more closely related to what the game is.
And it's like when you think of guys like Andre Ware.
Hold on, break that down for me.
So,
what did he say?
I said college is more. When people say football is a game, college is indicative of that. The NFL is entertainment. Like, for example,
because they're so even.
Yeah, it's one. Everybody's even, more even. It's more.
You don't get like these crazy offenses.
But here's like the NFL, like what I just said. The easiest way to get your team prepared to win games is to focus on your running game and your defense. That doesn't put butts in stands. That's why there's so much emphasis on getting a quarterback, and once you draft this quarterback, you put all that money on the quarterback. You have to get a receiver. You have
they
to
made
get
the
electric.
rules like that.
Yeah, they keep it makes no sense that you can't hit a receiver going across the middle. Like, it makes sense to protect them, but there's nothing done to prevent quarterbacks from making the throws that force them into tight windows. It's about making sure that not the flag football too had touchdown. That's part of it, but it's more exciting to watch people pitch and catch than it is to see a 17-15 AFC North showdown. Like nobody wants that. That's why it's only in that division that they play that kind of football. But everywhere
and they
else,
don't anymore, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like Pittsburgh airs it out.
Where you can see Georgia Tech for almost a decade go to the wing T and actually have success, win a conference championship. That ain't happening in the NFL. And if that ever does, they'll change the rules to where it can happen. That's the biggest
difference. Doing that.
We just got a question on the text line, but I want to answer it. I want to give credence to because he's asking a legitimate question. 728 says, "There's been some talk on some Notre Dame pages that I follow that we've been holding out one of our best wide receivers until the Clemson game, so he's fresh and there's no film on him. Not necessarily specific to Notre Dame, but does that kind of thing happen in college football? No, it's not happening at Notre Dame. It hasn't happened anywhere. That would be like the dumbest thing.
You're saying that's message boards.
Like literally, what's 5 games in, 6 games in? No, sir, 728. Whoever put that on their message board, you feel free to just stamp idiot.
You think in that game when they were only winning like 12-7 against Louisville, they would have put him in?
Like, and this is somebody we don't know. Like, We got this
Like,
guy.
if the kid was that good,
guy.
if he was that good, everybody's recruiting him. So they have an idea.
But people would be like, wait, nobody's asking about this guy.
The 5-star.
Now, you may not run.
DK Metcalf looking guy.
You may not run specific packages. You may not run certain plays.
You may hold a formation.
But you're not putting the best 11 on the field on purpose. Well, unless you're like Auburn with Bo Nix, but that's a completely different story. They weren't hiding anybody. They just were playing the kid who wasn't
Is
that
the
good.
starting wide receiver's dad a legend at the program, though?
That's a fair question. Fair question. And I'm not picking on your question subject. That was just that was funny. I've never seen it.
Is the
Pose
starting
like
wide receiver's name Rudy? Or Joe Montana Jr.? Then maybe I can see that.
Or who was the punter that drew the offsides penalty that his dad was calling the game this week?
Joe Tessitore.
Yeah.
That was. I wanted to be like, this is corny, but I thought
The
it was
weather
pretty
guy?
cool.
That's
No,
cool.
Joe Tess is like the play-by-play for Monday Night Football. He used to be, at least. But he was doing the
Clemson Boston College.
BC game. They bring in his son, who's like the walk-on backup, and do a quick snap, like it was supposed to be a punt, and then they quickly snapped it, or they threw him offsides or something.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be a punt, and then they ran up to a normal formation, did a hard count, and Clemson comes offside.
And he got to announce his son doing that, which I thought was pretty cool, because you don't expect to announce him doing anything because he's a walk-on. By the way, fun fact: my little brother Josh, other little brother,
Make up your mind.
my little brother Josh is dating Joe Tessitore's niece.
Oh.
And my brother works at ESPN. And Joe Tessitore, to make sure that my brother was a, above par type guy, a good guy, interviewed him sort of like they had coffee together at ESPN to make sure that my brother wasn't a serial killer. That's a true story. Dan Mullen, or I mean not Dan Mullen. Joe Tessitore, good guy.
Darth Vader interviewed you.
Where did Dan Mullen come from?
Because on the bottom line it says Dan Mullen, fine reprimanded by.
Oh, I got you.
I'm watching the game. It's halftime, by the way, 6-14.
Yeah.
Giants on top.
Giants on top. Giants on top. All right, let's take our final break. We'll be back to wrap up the sports day. Thank God. It feels like we've been here forever.
4 hours is long. Like even Dan Hicken's like, I don't do 4 hours, I'll do 3.
To have 4 hours of like not the same segment.
Yeah.
Because I was about to go in and say, no, let's go back to the top.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
You're supposed to do like the same show a few times.
They do bowls in Bishop Kenny. I guess everybody makes the playoffs this year. Did the Miami schools opt out, or they?
Some did, some didn't. I don't know who did what, but
Playoffs should be starting soon, right?
next week there's like a couple play-in game type things this week. But
Damn, imagine in a year when literally everybody makes playoffs and they still make you play a playing
I
game.
know, right?
That's terrible. The only reason I know is because one of the kids I trained, last time I trained him, his dad was like, yeah, we already know who they knew they were playing in the playoffs
A long time.
4 weeks ago. I might go to that. It's at San Luis Memories.
So are is Golden State like back at full strength?
Yeah. Well,
Just without KD, obviously.
they have Andrew Wiggins, remember? And they also have the second pick. So they're going to have like a brand new rookie who's should be ready to go.
That's what I want to do earlier. I want to look at like NBA mock draft because that's when that's coming up soon.
That's like in 2 weeks.
Where do they have Ball going?
Like number 2, right? Number 2 or 3.
So he could end up at Golden State.
Yeah, but I don't think they would. I mean, they already have.
Because he's a shooter.
They
right?
have a point guard and a shooting guard. Yeah. I don't know if he's a point guard or a shooting guard. I've never seen him play.
This mock draft has him taking a dude named Obi Toppin.
From Dayton?
Yeah.
Who, number 1?
Number 2.
Who's going number 1?
Anthony Edwards.
From Georgia?
Yeah.
What about Wiseman?
LaMelo Ball 3. Charlotte. Some dude whose name I can't say 4.
From where?
USC. And then a dude from Israel 5.
A Jew.
James Wiseman 6.
That would be the first.
I was thinking in my head, like, what other Jewish football players?
Well, basketball.
Oh, basketball.
They used to run.
James Wiseman 7'1".
Yeah, like before they let black people play.
Did you know that?
It was like a real Jewish sport. What?
James Wiseman 7'1".
Yeah, he's a center.
I didn't know he was 7'1".
How far down is he?
6 to Atlanta.
Damn, he was supposed to be like top 2 or 3 before he got suspended. Apparently, there's no like standout guys, so it could be. Who knows what's gonna happen? Tired outlet.
FSU guy going 25.
When's FSU basketball start? That's the real question.
Dude, what is going on with college basketball?
Start soon.
But I'm seeing all these preseason tournaments canceled.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work.
How much time we got? Like what?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. That means we actually got there on time.
Yeah, it was crazy. Last segment was like a full segment.
Let's let this roll for a while.
Giving up hope.
Giving up hope.
Gang banging. Gang banging.
Why don't Hicken ever make a song to this?
It's not as popular as like some of the other.
Well, it's about to be.
It should be.
Oh dear. These are like grades?
Yeah. Graves.
Filling up graves, making bad grades.
Oh, graves.
Graves and Graves.
Oh. Wow.
Deep.
Some song we come across there. My mom told me the other day, she's like, I've got that song in my head.
Oh, I've had it in my head for like a week and a half now.
That's who he was writing it for, because that generation, that's his generation.
Yeah.
But you know something that Smokey did that's still the
Why can I not hear Smokey without thinking of the movie Friday?
Okay, facts.
But go ahead, Smokey Robinson.
But he did this thing where he's still performing, right? Dude, it's still really good
Huh?
to hear him sing. Like, he still does performances.
Yeah,
And,
this song is. This is like a recent song.
to remember, right, he was a sex symbol in his prime. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he was like his music, like he so they walked and they did stuff and like things that they did supposed to have women swoon. So imagine you were a sex symbol for 20 years of your life
at least.
But you're no longer a sex symbol really, but you're still singing and performing as a sex symbol. He does this like dance thing where like I had to ask my grandma, like, yo, was this sexy at some point?
Like it's sexy right now.
Like was it like that? Like when a man just got on his hand and just
It was the male version of the twerk.
he was like
James looks like he's trying to get out of a straight jacket.
yeah, it's like it was weird. I'm like, what is he like? Imagine just somebody, JJ, great comparison. Imagine you're going to listen to your favorite band, then all of a sudden they just stop and start doing this thing like they're trying to get out of an imaginary straight jacket, and they're licking their lips. And you're like, what the hell is going on here?
And at one point that was sexy.
And you're like 2020. 2020.
Well, we will not be here tomorrow night. We will be here on Wednesday, 9 o'clock. And then we won't be back again until Sunday. Short week for us. So I guess we'll talk to you guys on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Thank you guys for listening to the Sports Den at Denny_Thompson, at Big Game James_36, at JJ LaSelva. And we will talk to you on Wednesday.